Yeah, happy Monday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you on this wonderful Monday morning. So much to get to today. So glad that you're here with us. We have to discuss new head coaches in the NFL. We have to discuss week 15, our takeaways so far. We had Saturday football to take in this weekend. We got St. Catherine's coming to Viejas in just a day's time as Aztecs basketball resumes. We've got recruiting happen on the Mesa. We got Monday Night Football tonight. We've got a lot to cover, gentlemen, and we only have 3 hours. Good morning to you. How was your weekend, TD?
Fantastic. Went by very quickly. The days go by quick when there's just football back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
Fletch very excited.
Yeah. Fletch had a good weekend, so I was catching up with Fletch before the show.
Kendall out of town, just me and Brock in the couch and the TV with football, UFC, and more football. Wow. That was an awesome weekend.
By the way, you sent out a group text saying, hey, look, I'm home alone. What should I feed myself? What did you end up with?
I went and bought steaks.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then made potatoes.
Wow.
So I had steak and potatoes.
Wow.
And then for breakfast the next day, guess what I had? Leftover steak and potatoes.
Did you crack an egg in the steak?
Oh, hell yeah, I did.
Okay.
That's really smart.
Yeah,
that's really, really smart. That's a powerful move right there.
Mm-hmm.
I realized based on our group text, now that I remember it, via power of suggestion, I ended up getting Wiener Schnitzel for the kids for the first time this weekend.
Cool.
Which was a semi-disaster. So that's what TD suggested to Fletch. He was like, well, when I'm left home alone, usually it's Taco Bell or Wiener Schnitzel.
That's what inspired me to get my lazy off the couch, go to the store, pick up steaks. Because I'm like, I'm not this guy. I'm not the guy that goes and gets what do they call him? The mudslide chili dog?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, well, you haven't lived.
Good. So Sarah will not eat Wiener Schnitzel, rarely will eat Taco Bell. So if I'm home alone, I'm like, we're going to feast.
I honestly feel like we're living lives, the same life in parallel universes, because that is the same exact thing in our house. I don't know if I've ever seen Ann eat Taco Bell, and Wiener Schnitzel is a no-go. So I had the boys on my own last night. So we stopped by, got a couple of corn dogs, which, by the way, I found out my oldest is a huge fan of corn dogs, which makes life a little bit easier because that is a no fuss, no muss snack you can hand from the front seat to the back.
That's right.
The youngest
got a handle.
Yeah. The youngest got a damn ice cream cone and then immediately dropped it in his lap. So that's how the day went yesterday.
Yeah.
But the corn dogs, they never miss. Coming up today, we have tickets, a pair of tickets to the 44th annual DirecTV Holiday Bowl. You're going to see USC. You're going to see Louisville. They're coming to town December 27th. That is a week and a half from today. They'll be at Petco Park, followed by KGB Sky Show. So if you're interested in winning those tickets, just keep listening for your opportunity. Also, pair of tickets to see the Aztecs, as mentioned, take on St. Catherine's tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. Those tickets are available at goaztecs.com, or just keep listening for your chance to win. So,
hey, weird question, Richie. Yeah. Where can you hear both of those games?
Oh, right here on San Diego Sports 760.
You're damn right. Teddy Leitner on the call tomorrow night against St. Catherine's, and then Rich and John on the call for the Holiday Bowl.
Yeah, looking forward to that one for sure. Actually, that's perfect segue into my morning monologue. We'll get to that in just a little bit here, but I realized I want to do a change-up pitch. I had one thought in mind, but I think I'm going to move it to college football to discuss something about bowl season that came up this weekend. But before we get to that, we had this Week 15 NFL slate, the triple header on Saturday. I guess we'll start there as we meander our way through. What stood out to you on Saturday?
Damn you, Broncos.
Yeah,
they really had a shot, man.
It's over.
Wait, whose pick was that? Wasn't that Rich's best bet of the week?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you
the
suck.
Broncos. Yeah, that was my barrel pick. And the Broncos got absolutely destroyed by Jared Goff and the Lions.
Good. My barrel pick were the Steelers, who also really sucked.
Mine's TBD. I took the Eagles. They play tonight.
Oh, yeah. To be determined. So, yeah, we got Seahawks, Eagles. We'll touch on that game a little bit more.
You picked the safest is all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like you decided to take the sidewalk, and then Rich and I were like, we'll just walk in the middle of the street.
I needed to win. I lost last week. Whatever.
Well, yeah, and when you pick it, I don't remember what the spread was on Friday when you selected the Eagles. What are they favored by? 3 points?
It wasn't huge.
Yeah, we'd have to go back and look.
I'll listen to it and make sure everything is in the clear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You better.
Yeah.
You better,
Yeah,
buddy.
pull that tape.
This is barrel picks. You son of a.
They're currently favored by 3. I feel like that's what it was.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know if that line is.
It may have been 3 with a hook. I think it was 3.5. So I'll make it tougher on myself for you guys. 3.5.
Well, we could listen to it. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Look, until we decide what barrel picks is for, I don't really care.
Exactly right.
Especially since I'm 0-2 right now, so I'm kind of hoping we never decide what barrel picks is for. But yeah, if you're looking for winners, just keep looking because we haven't been handing out a ton of them. I think TD has the only winner on barrel picks over the first 2 weeks we've debuted the segment. We've now made 5 picks and we've hit one of them. We are 20% hitters.
I feel like that Fletch will get a win tonight.
I think so. Yeah. But as week 15 comes to a close now, this game tonight doesn't really determine much because unfortunately for the Seahawks, they're starting to fall out of the playoff race. The Eagles have already cemented their spot in the postseason, but you got 4 teams who have clinched: Ravens, Niners, Eagles, Cowboys. They are all going to be in the postseason of the 2023-2024 NFL season. Any surprises there for you guys?
I don't know if I'm surprised by any of them. I will say this about the Cowboys. Actually, both the Cowboys and the Eagles, those are some pretty disappointing teams in different ways. The Eagles, they've won close a lot, but they haven't made believers out of me. I think Jalen Hurts is hurt. He's been for the majority of the season. That defense stinks compared to the defense they had last year. And the Cowboys, every time they're away from home, look like a completely different team.
No, there's a chance Jalen Hurts doesn't play tonight. Did you guys see that report from Shefty yesterday? He's dealing with some sort of flu bug or something, and there's a chance he's not suiting up.
I don't think it'd be a bad idea for them. They've clinched the playoff berth. Thank you to the 49ers, by the way. It was their win that cemented that to happen. However, I mean, what are they playing for? I guess a top seed. That's where they're at. So if that's they're looking at, I mean, the Cowboys need that top seed because you're right, Rich. If they're not at home, they're not even sort of good.
No.
They're bad. I mean, it's bad. It's bad on both sides of the ball. So Cowboys, just like the Eagles, same boat. I just not believers in them. They don't play consistently enough to where I go, well, that's a team that's going to roll through this thing. The biggest shocker for me in this playoff picture is that it's week 15 and there's only 4 teams that have locked up a spot in the postseason.
This one might give you guys some more surprises and some more meat to chew on. Before we get to the teams that are on the bubble in the middle, we got the Patriots, Jets, Titans, Panthers, Cardinals, Commanders all officially eliminated from postseason play this year. Any names on there that are massive disappointments, the stepchild that you just want to get rid of?
I would say the Jets being on this list at this point is shocking if you rewound to the beginning of the season before the whole season kicked off.
Yep.
Because there were such high hopes for the New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers, all the excitement heading into the season. And that excitement lasted exactly 4 plays into their season. And then you realize, oh my goodness, they're going back to Zach Wilson. And that was an unmitigated nightmare last season. And that's exactly what it's turned into, which there's a lot of weirdness that happened yesterday. I don't know if you guys were watching that game, but Zach Wilson was brought to the locker room for hydration. And then they said he has a non-concussion head injury. And then they're like, on second thought, he's ruled out with a concussion. It was the strangest a couple of events that, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be no investigation here because it's the Jets and who cares. But yeah, this whole situation with New York, I mean, what a disaster.
Is the hydration thing, is that code for hungover?
No, I think what happened was, I mean, if you watched the game, he got absolutely lit up. He got smoked by one of the Dolphins defenders. And I think that either A, they were trying to get him back in the game and be sneaky about it, and they didn't want to go to their third string Trevor Siemian, or B, he didn't want to go back in the game. And so they weren't helping him at all. They were lying publicly because they're like, we're not going to say he has a head injury. He passed concussion protocol. Yeah. So one or the other happened. I don't know which one, but it was shady.
Feels like the latter to me. It feels like the latter. Well, I mean, because we've already had that floated out. And then it was just a weird chain of events of what is the real message here? And so it sounds like we still don't know what the real message is, because the real message was Zach Wilson does not want to go back out there.
To be fair, if I'm Zach Wilson, I don't want to play behind that offensive line either. Like, there's reasons he's gotten hit so much this year, and a lot of it is because of that offensive line. And by the way, there's a reason Aaron Rodgers has been out all season, and part of it is because of Dwayne Brown, the offensive lineman. So I don't necessarily blame him, even though I think it is the softest thing a quarterback has ever said, if he actually said it.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, maybe the low hydration was he didn't get orange slices from his mom prior to the game.
She can give me orange slices.
Tell you what,
She gives me orange slices.
I'd be in the mood for milk and cookies.
Milk.
I said milk.
Well, by the way, bottom of the barrel we do every single day here. There's a story on there that I think Fletch will be very excited about.
I saw that.
What? I feel like that is right up your alley. The most popular search on Pornhub.
Yeah, well, that's bottom of the barrel stuff.
If we, if you're listening, just you wait till 8:45. We are gonna blow your doors off with that one.
All right, 2 minutes till halftime. Let's look at the teams who are still in the hunt. That's everybody else. We'll start on the NFC side. Lions, Bucks, Vikings, Rams. Those are the teams that if the season ended today, they would be in the postseason. And then just outside, you got a trio of teams, Saints, Seahawks, Falcons, and I guess you could include the Packers there, who look like they're on a downhill slide.
Yeah. Yeah, the Packers, actually, that's an interesting conversation to have because there was a lot of excitement about Jordan Love. And there still should be some excitement because I think Jordan Love looks like he's figured it out at this level. That guy can throw dots. He is incredibly accurate. He's strong-armed. I think he's got the mental capabilities. He's got a lot to learn at this level. And those losses back-to-back weeks to the Giants and now to the Bucks are unfortunate because, like you said, it looked like this guy was trending in a great direction with wins over the Chiefs and the Detroit Lions prior to that. And now it looks like the Packers could be eliminated with their next loss.
Yeah, week 14 looked like the world was where we were living in the upside down with the teams that were winning. All of a sudden there's some different teams emerging. There's some what ifs. There's some, oh my gosh, this could actually happen. Week 15 felt like, oh yeah, everything's right again in the NFL. The teams that are supposed to be winning are winning. The teams that we thought would be falling apart look like a complete disaster. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Packers, I don't have any belief in them. If they make the playoffs, I mean, it's a one and done in my personal opinion.
Yeah, if the Packers made the playoffs, you would think they'd need to host a game in order to get a win and have some sort of sneaky Lambeau weather where everything works out.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the team that's surprising me in the NFC is a team that I thought wouldn't be sniff the playoffs this year. That's the Rams, who come up with another huge win yesterday. They're sitting right in that 7 seed right now. They control their own destiny here. But the Rams with Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford coming back to form, Puka Nakua's incredible season, Cooper Kupp, I don't know if you guys have been watching. He looks like he's back. So the Rams, all of a sudden, I would not want to play them in the postseason.
Yeah, the Rams all of a sudden look like last year's Lions, where it was kind of quiet. They were just kind of there. It was just happening. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, wait, what? Wait, why are they here?
Sean McVay's looking like a jittery little hamster on the sideline again.
Yeah. I look, I'm not I told you so guy, but I couldn't understand why there was so much Rams hate this preseason, because I understand, look, they lost a lot and they bet the house to win that Super Bowl. It kind of felt like a deal with the devil, but that's still Sean McVay and he's a really good football coach. And that's still Matthew Stafford. That's a future Hall of Famer at quarterback. And you have Aaron Donald anchoring that defense. Like, there are some real pieces. And then Cooper Kupp, he was injured to start the season, so you couldn't include him in the algebra.
Well, and remember the reporting on Cooper Kupp, like it may have been a much more serious injury than everyone thought, and he might be missing the whole season. I think that added to it. I don't think anybody necessarily thought Matthew Stafford would be able to recover from that arm injury as well as he has to this point in the season. A lot's gone right for the Rams.
Well, yeah, but at the same token, like, that's another thing that confused me. I know since he's been with the Rams, he hasn't been all that healthy, but Matthew Stafford is an iron horse. Like, he's a very similar comp to Phillip Rivers. And I know a lot of people aren't introduced to that because who's watching a lot of Detroit games when he was with the Detroit Lions? The answer is not many people. And Matthew Stafford started a whole bunch of games for that franchise. Now, he got banged up because they didn't have particularly great offensive lines for a majority of his time there. But yeah, the Rams are one of those teams in the NFC who you absolutely do not want to see in the first round. And it looks like they could advance because if the playoffs started today, they're going to Tampa to face the Tampa Baker Mayfields. So that, to me, feels like a divisional birth for the Los Angeles Rams with that matchup.
Wow.
Baker was balling out yesterday, man. It's fun to see when Baker Mayfield is good. He's one of the more entertaining quarterbacks in football. But then you have the Baker Mayfield games where he kind of lays a dud. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's why you're not great.
Right. Another team that I don't think people are going to want to see in the playoffs, at least how it looked yesterday, are the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, man.
Buffalo Bills.
Especially in Buffalo.
Holy smokes. I mean, here we go again where it is about every 3 weeks you look at the Bills and go, oh, I don't know, that may be the best team ever created. I mean, everything's clicking.
Rich, you said it, I think last week or maybe the week before that, like James Cook shouldn't be the star that you rely on. Watching yesterday, and maybe it's because I have him on 2 fantasy teams that are in the postseason, but watching James Cook yesterday, he had almost 200 yards total purpose yards
From
or whatever.
Scrimmage, yeah.
Yeah, and he was incredible. He was the reason that the Bills looked as good as they looked.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's a smart plan. I don't think that it's one that you want to feature. I think it's a great secondary weapon, though, especially since defenses are really slowing down Stephon Diggs' production. And if they didn't have Cook, they'd probably be losers of the past 2 weeks. In fact, they would be, because that was a close game against the Chiefs. It wasn't really a contest yesterday. It was kind of gratuitous. All those yards, it was fun for James Cook. He had a career day.
Like the Cowboys could not stop him.
Could not stop him.
Well, on the Cowboys side, the MVP candidate leader, Dak Prescott. Yeah, I mean, that's not a good showing, buddy. They didn't have 200 yards offense.
Yeah, it was bad.
When you look at like MVP resumes, 3 of them got strengthened yesterday and 1 got really weakened. Lamar Jackson's, I think, went through the roof. He should be the favorite right now, in my opinion. Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey's, theirs both went up. Brock had 4 touchdowns through the air. Christian had 3 overall. And then Dak Prescott went down the tank, I think, with that performance yesterday.
I'm with you on Lamar Jackson. Without him, obviously, in terms of value, the Baltimore Ravens are not in the position they're in. But the San Francisco 49ers has a quarterback that may be the greatest statistical season a quarterback has ever had in National Football League history.
Right.
And it doesn't feel like anybody's really concentrating on Brock Purdy. Everybody's still talking about C-Mac. Everybody's still talking about Debo and Ayuk and Kittle and all the help he has around him. If this was Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers, the whole world would be standing on its head. Every show would lead with Brock Purdy, but his name isn't Brady or Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes. And so everybody seems to think of him as an afterthought. I think I just gave Fletch a full fledger.
Thank you for saying that. I didn't want to have to be the one.
What? Yeah.
Let's
Big Sock Brock stood up at attention.
Let's move on to the full scoreboard. We were talking about week 15, so we'll finish it off here. The Browns had a comeback victory, 4th quarter. Heroics from Joe Flacco, who had a tough day at the office. 3 interceptions for the Browns, but they beat the Bears 20-17 in Cleveland. Buccaneers, we were talking about a 34-20 final there at Lambeau Field, win over the Packers. Texans hold on to win against the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. Case Keenum.
Wait, Titans or the Oilers?
The Tennessee Oilers.
Okay,
That's right. They're wearing the throwbacks. 1916 final there.
And people are angry.
Dolphins blew out the Jets 30-0. Patriots got mopped up 27-17 at Foxborough. They're dropped to 3 wins on the season. Giants get beat bad by the Saints 24-6 final there. Panthers, they come back and win 9-7. Desmond Ridder threw the ugliest 4th quarter interception I've ever seen.
So bad.
The Rams win 28-20. The Niners beat the Cardinals big time. 45-29 final there. We were talking about Bills Cowboys 31-10 finish for the Bills, and the Ravens on Sunday Night Football 23-7.
Yep. We were on yesterday, bright and early.
You're damn right.
I don't know if you guys heard it.
Rich was.
Well, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
We didn't think about that when we wrote the copy for that.
Always on the radio. I never sleep.
Never stop working. It is our morning monologue. It is Monday morning, and I've had a hard weekend. A lot to think about here. Got a lot of pictures, a lot of ads sent on my social media streams, my feeds.
Of course.
Look, McDonald's. Why are you messing with a good thing?
Oh boy.
Okay. All right. We like our ground pork pressed into riblet-shaped patties and smothered in barbecue sauce and then jammed between some buns. All right. That's it. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay. I do not need a salad on top of my McRib. So while it's back for a limited time, let's not see if we can make a McRib deluxe and throw some lettuce and can't even say it. Tomatoes on my McRib? What the hell are you thinking? McDonald's. Just leave a damn good thing alone. All right? That's it. The end.
I've never seen TD this fired up in my life.
I'm ready to cry.
I mean, honestly, I had a McRib yesterday in full transparency, and I didn't even know deluxe was an option.
Well, it's only available in certain markets right now. I'm just afraid this is going to become one of them. And I don't want to see the thing on the menu, all right?
You guys seen the McCosmic or whatever? The new line they're opening up?
Yeah, Cosmics.
Cosmics,
which is they're trying to get in on like the Sonic drink fad.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of boba milk tea options and Slurpees.
Yeah. I don't know. There's only several of them. Maybe there's only one that's currently open.
I mean,
I'll through.
And so you guys know I'm not the biggest NBA fan. Well, that wasn't always the case. For a long time, I really was an NBA fan.
But the tournament changed your mind.
No, I was a big-time Golden State Warriors fan for a long time. The Baron Davis Warriors, the Monte Ellis Warriors, those were my guys. The 2015 I Believe Warriors, those were my guys. And then the Steph Curry Warriors came along. And while that was really fun and that was really exciting when Steph Curry first took over and started looking like a great point guard instead of the often injured little skinny guy from Davidson that he was, it was really fun to be an NBA fan, and it was really fun to watch a new look offense. But then something changed, and it was when the Warriors added Kevin Durant, and all of a sudden they were just too good, and that's really when I started tuning out of the NBA because I thought it was bad for the game. Well, now you look across the league, and everyone's trying to copycat those Warriors of just hucking up threes and as many as possible. Well, something came to an end last night for Steph Curry. His streak of 268 games with a three-pointer made comes to a close. Before last night, the last time he played in a game didn't make a three-pointer was November 8th, 2018. While that is crazy and deserves congratulations, Steph Curry, you've ruined basketball for me. Congratulations.
Wow.
Wow. We will write a strongly worded letter.
That took a hard left turn there at the end.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Didn't think you were going there.
The modern NBA is a struggle to watch sometimes. And it has, for me, I agree with you. I think it has to do with the perimeter shot, but also the abandonment completely of any defense.
Well, and just the attitude that is leaked across the league. It's a bad attitude and it's a bad product on television.
Yeah. And Draymond Green, by the way, if he wasn't playing basketball, would be incarcerated for
life.
The level of assault that he has committed on basketball courts.
Have you seen the Barstool compilation of Draymond Green ejectable moments?
Oh, yeah. It's all over social media.
It's like funny to a point where, maybe someone needs to like talk to him.
Yeah. Is he all right? Let's find out.
He's not.
All right. For my monologue, I want to talk about bowl season in college football. Have you watched any bowl games yet? The answer is most likely no.
I saw Gronk singing the national anthem.
It is outside of that, it is a desert of entertainment. I mean, bad football teams playing against each other, 6-win football teams teeing up and kicking off. And first and foremost, that's that right there. I mean, I should probably end the monologue right there. But then on top of it, not a single player you recognize because of all the transfer portal stuff happening.
Yeah.
Players not wanting to get injured. And we're not talking about because they have hopes of going to the NFL, because they may not be with their teams in the upcoming season. So there are 1,500 players across college football who are currently in the transfer portal, and only 200 have been signed. And none of them are playing in their bowl games. You have coaches leaving teams in a lurch, chasing after better paying jobs elsewhere, not coaching their teams for the bowl games. Why do we still have bowl season? Because corporate sponsors will pay and networks will put it on television. That's the only reason. This system sucks. This system is terrible for the athlete. This system is terrible in terms of the viewership product. And I hope as we creep closer and closer to New Year's Day, it gets better, because this is one of the worst bowl seasons we've seen in college football.
How many have there been thus far? 6?
I believe
maybe
there
more.
was
6 on Saturday.
6 on Saturday. I can't remember if there were any yesterday going head to head with the NFL. I don't think so, but it's been awful.
So we only got about
a couple today.
So we got like 36 left.
Yeah. we We only have about 40 left.
Okay, good.
And then bowl season will mercifully come to an end. Okay. Coming up later in the show, we have tickets to the Aztecs. So if you're interested in seeing them tomorrow night, tipping off against St. Catherine's, just stay right where you are. And the holiday season is here. And our friends over at Underdog Fantasy are running 12 days of social promos starting December 14th, middle of last week. If you haven't heard of Underdog Fantasy yet, easiest place to play fantasy basketball every night of the season. They got the pick'em game. You've heard me talk about this before. Pick between 2 and 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on their stats, and you can win big. Legal in California, tons of fun to play along. If you're into the Lakers, the Clippers, like Fletch was talking about, the Warriors. I play NFL all season long. I started doing NBA, and I absolutely love it. Underdog Fantasy is for me, and trust me, it's for you too. Go to their easy-to-use mobile app or underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with promo code XTRA, and Underdog will double your first deposit of $10 or more, up to $100. It's that easy. You put in 50, they'll give you 100. You put in 75, you'll play with 150. You put in $100, your first outing is going to be with $200 in your account. And in the spirit of the holidays, Underdog is doing daily promos over the site formerly known as Twitter. Follow at Underdog Fantasy. Be on the lookout for ways to win a Nintendo Switch and more. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. How do you replace what should have never been? We'll answer that question next.
Hey, it's Fletch for SDFatLoss.com, and I feel like we haven't shared the actual numbers in a little bit, so I'm going to share them with you right now. When I stepped on a scale earlier this summer, I weighed 278 pounds. This morning, I step on the scale, I'm 234. That is thanks to SDFatLoss.com. Is that not ridiculous?
Wow.
That's a big difference.
That's a lot to a little.
278 pounds.
Yeah,
Like, that's
wow.
embarrassing when I think back to that number.
Well, it wouldn't be.
No, it is.
Like
It's like record numbers
Yeah,
for you.
dude,
That was a record number. That was an all-time high.
You were coming off a vacation. You were all fat and happy.
Yeah.
And now you're skinny and happy.
Yep.
I am skinny and happy, and it's thanks to sdfatloss.com and our weight loss team. Wayne and Chloe over there have helped us out the entire time, still sending us text messages as we roll into the holiday season. So we're in the maintaining phase. So I've been around 234 for like 3 weeks, and that feels great to say because I'm able to maintain it. And I do want to get back down into the 220s, so I'm going to go back on the full reduction phase starting on January 1st, hopefully with many of you. If you want to sign up for sdfatloss.com and you want to get going on January 1st and kick off that New Year's resolution, don't wait to sign up because right now, sdfatloss.com offering Big Rich, TD, and Fletch listeners $200 off their order between now and December 31st. So get in now, start it on January 1st. I'll do it with you. If you're tired of yo-yo dieting and you're thinking about trying those latest fad medications, don't do the fad medication, do sdfatloss.com because you can drop a tremendous amount of weight in a little amount of time. Get on over to sdfatloss.com, free consultation today. Oh boy. This update is presented by Staples Stores. Starting off in the NFL, yesterday, Browns sneak past the Bears 2017. Chiefs handle business against the Patriots 27-17. And on Sunday Night Football, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens beat the Jags 23-7. College hoops, Aztecs return to action tomorrow night against St. Catherine's at Viejas Arena. Tip off at 7. We're going to be on the air with pregame coverage beginning at 6:30. By the way, if you want a pair of tickets to that game, we'll have them later on this show. This is a good opportunity to bring the family because the kids are all out of town now. So no show, but it could be a lot of show from San Diego State fans. Warriors Steph Curry, his streak of 268 games with a three-pointer made comes to an end. Staples holiday season means amazing savings for the holiday season. Right now, this week, save $50 on Xbox Series S with 3 months Game Pass Unlimited Bundle, now just $249.99. Ends 12/23. Available online and in select stores only while supplies last. Limit 1. Have yourself a merry little holiday deal at Staples.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. The 44th annual DirecTV Holiday Bowl, Louisville versus USC, happening at Petco Park, December 27th. Right after the Holiday Bowl, the KGB Sky Show is going to go down. Your ticket, by the way, to the Holiday Bowl, also your ticket to the KGB Sky Show. So it's a 2-for-1. If you're looking to get tickets, go to holidaybowl.com or keep it locked in here.
By the way, that day, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, we're going to be on the air in a whole bunch of different capacities, literally all day long.
Yes.
We'll do our morning show. I'm going to be hosting 3 to 5 solo here. Travis is going to be hosting something over there.
That is correct.
Then Rich is on the call for the game.
Yeah.
Like the three of us are going to be taking up 15 hours of airtime that day.
Yeah. I'm on the air broadcasting 3 to 7 while you're calling the game. So
Correct.
So fun.
So if you love us, tune in on December 27th and keep listening for your chance to win those Holiday Bowl tickets.
Who doesn't love us?
Oh no, everybody has told us. We've seen the numbers, rave reviews.
Yes.
So Brandon Staley, he goes bye-bye like moments after our show on Friday.
Did that not piss you guys off a little bit?
A little bit. I felt like he did it on purpose. Yeah, Spanos did it on purpose.
But like when Colin came back, literally 2 minutes into his show, Adam Schefter put out the tweet, and Colin said it, and that's how I found out. And I was like, damn it, he couldn't have done this an hour ago.
So Colin leads his show, obviously, on Friday with the disaster of a Thursday night football game for the Chargers. They get blown out worse than they've ever gotten blown out. More points scored against them than ever in team history. The Raiders scored the most points in their team's history against the Chargers. And so that was it. That was the swan song for Brandon Staley. So before we move on, because a lot has already been discussed this morning, or I should say this weekend, about Brandon Staley and the reasons why it didn't work, let's give our 2 cents here. Final thoughts on the Staley experiment in Los Angeles with the Chargers?
It's kind of crazy that he also got Tom Telesco fired. Now, we talk about this Chargers roster a lot, how it is year after year of a good roster that underperforms, but at a certain point, you just have to take what's been laid out in front of you and understand, well, the GM who put all this together, the GM who's now, is this his 3rd, 4th head coach hire?
Let me think about it. McCoy, Anthony Lynn, Brandon Staley. So he had 3.
He had 3. They weren't going to give him a 4th. But so it's unfortunate because I do think Tom Telesco is a good guy. We've known him for several years. But at this point, you're not going to be able to hire a 4th one. That's standard across the NFL. But Brandon Staley, he deserves to become the first Chargers head coach ever to be fired in season. Mm-hmm. It's been putrid.
Yeah, but Tom Telesco, not a great resume with the Chargers. He's been there since, 2013. They've been to the playoffs twice.
3 times, yeah, because the year he first got there, they went to the postseason. Actually, he signed me. So 2013 and 14, I was with the Chargers, Telesco's first 2 seasons.
Maybe they should have fired him.
Yeah, immediately. What a regrettable decision.
What have you done?
We went to the playoffs and actually got a win that first season, and then they went back twice more, I believe, after that. And the reality is, Telesco got fired because Telesco has put together great rosters with a lot of players who get injured a lot. And when you take chances on guys with injury histories, which I know it's a 100% injury rate in college football and in the NFL, everybody's going to get dinged up. But he's taken specifically some big swings with guys with really checkered pasts from an injury standpoint. And on a team where that seems to be the bugaboo every single year, I think that was a big reason why he got thrown out with Brandon Staley. In terms of Brandon Staley, I mean, look, you gotta mow your own backyard. Mm-hmm. When you are a defensive guru and you come in and you have a bottom 3rd defense, the 3 years that you're coaching a team, that is a disaster. And that's the reason why he got fired. Because if you are a defensive minded coach and you have a crummy defense, and you're losing football games, and you have one of the most embarrassing losses in playoff history in the franchise's history, then yeah, it's probably time.
So who replaces him?
Well, okay, so
Bill Belichick.
Yeah, you're hearing Bill Belichick a lot.
It's not going to happen.
And now you give me your reasons, I'll give you mine. Why do you think it's not Bill Belichick?
Money, period. And on Belichick's side, I don't know that he necessarily wants to live in LA, but he could get over that if there was money. But there is no money. It's the Chargers.
I don't know if Bill Belichick leaves this season. There may be one more season. They may play out the rest of his contract because we talked about it last week. It doesn't do him any favors to trade himself with 1 year left on his contract, because what are you going to trade to take away from a team that you're trying to go to? It just doesn't make any sense.
So, yeah, I think Bill forces the Patriots to fire him if they want him gone.
Yeah.
I agree with what you just said. It's possible this offseason they could fire him. That decision may be already made. He could be available, maybe not. But then I agree with what Fletch just said. Even if he is available, I could see Belichick more going to a Commanders or a Chicago Bears instead of LA, because I just don't think they have the money. Plain and simple. I don't think Dean Spanos is going to cough up $20 million plus to pay Bill Belichick what his salary will be. I mean, that's what the Patriots are paying him. Jim Harbaugh, same thing. I mean, he's probably making northward of $10 million annually at Michigan. Do we really think the Chargers are going to put up $10 million a year for Jim Harbaugh?
I'll tell you who the Chargers are going to go after. And I don't think it's a bad hire, by the way. It's the guy from the Lions, Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator over the past 2 seasons with the Lions.
That makes more sense. And you could probably, now he's not going to be super cheap, but he's going to be cheaper than Belichick. And by the way, TD, I'm pretty sure Belichick signed a multi-year extension with the Patriots this past offseason. So it's not like he could just play out, or they can play out one more year with him.
I thought he had 1 year left on
I
the
think
contract.
he did
Maybe
originally,
I'm wrong.
but Rappaport reported earlier this year it's a multi-year extension, but the
Oh.
Patriots are holding it closer to their chest.
Well, he's set then. Then they'll fire him. They'll fire him and they'll have to pay him out.
Well, yeah, they would definitely have to pay him out. I mean, because all those coach contracts are guaranteed, which, I mean, it goes further down the path of like, if you're Belichick and you've worked with the Kraft family, who are arguably some of the best owners in NFL history, you're going to go work for the Spanos family?
Right.
Like that's what you want the swan song to your career to be, is trying to make it work with the Bush League Bolts up there in Los Angeles, the Renners and Kroenke.
Now, what do the
Kroenke
Chargers
land?
do for road games? Do they charter planes? I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
So the Patriots have a plane that is Bob Kraft's plane.
They have two, I think.
So, like, just understand that you would be going from the height of luxury to the slums.
Yeah,
Well.
look, it's the NFL. I promise you, it's not the slums,
Right.
Comparatively.
But I will say this: everything's going to feel a lot different. And also, maybe the reason why they cleaned out the general manager too is because they are trying to make a play at Bill Belichick. Because that's the other thing you got to think about is when you hire Belichick, you're not just hiring a head coach. You're also paying for a general manager as well.
You're handing him the keys.
Yeah.
Here's the keys, man. Keys to the kingdom.
Now, the Chargers do have a beautiful bargaining chip in the name of Justin Herbert.
Oh, yeah.
Just be like, hey, if you come here, Justin's yours.
Yeah.
And is that enough to take less money?
I don't think so. I really don't think it's going to happen. I've been surprised before, though. I mean, I didn't think the Chargers would have the audacity to fire Brandon Staley here. By the way, have they announced, do we know who the interim is going to be?
No, maybe. I'm assuming it's Kellen Moore. I haven't seen anything.
I feel like they said that yesterday evening, but double check me on that. Meanwhile, the Panthers, they're laying out the red carpet for Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, they are doing everything they can to bring him there, but Eminem campaigning that he does not leave Detroit.
Yeah,
so I mean, you would bet on that he stays.
Got to keep
Oh,
him
it's a different
on 8
name.
Mile.
Yeah.
Giff Smith?
Giff Smith. Yeah.
Oh, they found that. That's when you send pictures on your iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't know who Giff Smith is.
Nobody does. Is he their special teams
The
coordinator?
veteran coach has been with the Chargers since 2016, initially serving as the defensive line coach before taking over as the team's outside linebacker coach the last 2 seasons. In his 12 seasons coaching in the NFL, Smith has coached 5 players to earn a combined 10 Pro Bowl selections entering this season.
Okay. Giff Smith. Congrats.
Wow.
Give it a run. Well, I will say this. Look at the Raiders on one side of the Josh McDaniels firing and the other side. Antonio Pierce has done a hell of a job. And I'm not saying we're going to see similar results with the Chargers, but holy smokes, it cannot be much worse.
The Chargers feel like they'd hire Matt Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, something.
Screen pass, screen pass.
Something insane.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
You know what? We love what we saw. He was in division last year. And you know what? It feels like we're kind of winning in 2 ways. We're stealing them from the Broncos, and then also we get them.
Can I promise you one thing? Whoever the Chargers hire, it's going to be underwhelming.
Oh, 100%. It's going to be a middle-tier coordinator, just like it always is. And if they do make a splash, it'll be the first time in 2 decades. So we'll see. All right. Hey, if you're looking for a world-class dentist with all procedures done in the same office with state-of-the-art technology, then you need to talk to my dentist, my doctor, Dr. Jordan Colby of Ocean View Dental. He can give you teeth in a day, plus a winning smile. Okay, so head to oceanviewdental.net if you're looking to change out your dentist. Here's why I went to see Dr. Jordan Colby. So LaDonna Harvey over at Kogo News, she's had extensive dental work done with Dr. Jordan Colby, and I needed a tooth extraction. I needed 3 implants put in. I was told by my old dentist that it was going to take about a year and a half. We're talking about 18 months of surgeries and dental office visits and imaging at different offices and oral surgeons. And, it just sounded like a disaster. And so I spoke to Dr. Jordan Colby expecting the same thing. And I was delightfully surprised by what he told me. We can get this done in 2.5, 3 months. And I was like, there's no way. This is what I've been told. He's like, no, we do it all in-house. You'll see. So he gave me the plan. He showed me the 3D imaging. He explained everything from beginning to end, and he wasn't lying about a single step of the process. I mean, I almost get emotional thinking about it. I couldn't chew my food. I really was having a hard time. And now I have teeth, and now I feel more confident as a result. So, no matter your situation, he can help you create a healthy and confident smile. His advanced specialty is implants, like I was talking about. And after doing my homework, I felt 100% confident and comfortable. Dr. Colby has built a world class, family oriented dental practice. My family now goes to Ocean View Dental. They also have one in Fallbrook as well. They provide excellent dental care. And like I said, they have all the latest advancements in dental technology. Ocean View Dental patients, they come from all over Southern California. You can check them out on Instagram. His Instagram profile is incredible. You will see the before and after pictures. Just sensational work. So if you need extensive dental work done, or if you're just due for your next cleaning, trust my dentist, my doctor, Dr. Jordan Colby at Ocean View Dental. That's oceanviewdental.net. So the bowl games this weekend brought up an old memory. Just a stroll down memory lane coming up next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, we've got huge tickets coming up on this show. We got Holiday Bowl tickets. We got Aztecs basketball tickets. So just be listening for your opportunity to win both of those great prizes here coming up on the show. So speaking of college football bowl games, this weekend had a slate of games on Saturday that include the Avocados of Mexico
Cure Bowl.
Cure Bowl, that's right.
It's well, I guess it was called the Cure Bowl, and then they added avocados from Mexico onto it.
Yes, that's right. The Cure Bowl, which, by the way, is one of the fan favorites every single year. Everybody, I mean, they were lining up to watch the Cure Bowl.
This boys don't cry.
This was played between Miami of Ohio and Appalachian State in the pouring rain. There were 13 fumbles in this game. It barely resembled football. And so, you know what happens? ESPN has all these broadcasts and, you know, they go to halftime to the studio shows and they're trying to find things to talk about, especially considering the way that game was played. Booger McFarland made an admission, and I was talking to TD about this. I mean, this took me right down memory lane.
Or not.
Oh, yeah. We only had the entire break to look at it.
I was on the wrong link. Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, he's not.
You been there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. So it was a high school football tradition of mine and our starting middle linebacker to pee ourselves during, I'm not kidding, pregame warmups.
What?
I have no idea how it started. I think it was because, okay, so our middle linebacker was the team captain as well. And every single pregame, he was so well hydrated because he was one of those guys who would cramp. Matty DeLuca, he would have to run down to the locker room and he'd have to relieve himself in the middle of warmups, and he got tired of doing it. So he was like, dude, I think I'm going to just pee my pants. And I was like, well, if you do it, I'll do it in solidarity. And so we blew whatever team we were playing right out of the water. And so from junior year all the way through until I graduated high school, I peed my pants before every single game.
Wow.
You're a gross human being.
Not even in the rain.
No.
Okay. So does that mean that everyone who came in contact with you then smelled like pee?
I was pretty well hydrated. Like, you know, when you're really well hydrated, it comes out clear. Like, it's barely pee at that point. In fact, I mean, I'm certain you throw that through a Brita, you could basically.
Oh God.
Well, okay. I'm just saying. I mean, I wouldn't do that, guys. I'm a human being. Yeah. Don't be gross.
Yeah, but you know, it's good to stay hydrated.
Yeah,
So,
it absolutely is.
The important question to ask here: you did that every game throughout high school. Did that tradition follow you to college and the NFL?
It most certainly did. Okay, so at Penn State,
Why
we wore white pants, and all you have to do. So Booger's wrong. Like, I mean, you get pretty sweaty just from like running around,
Right.
And then on top of it, they have water bottles. So you just take a knee, just let it flow. You just douse yourself with the Gatorade bottle, and you get back to business.
You definitely pee in pools, huh?
Oh, I mean, there hasn't been a pool I've ever been in without pool. If you invite me to your pool, I am peeing in your pool.
Dude, like first thing?
I mean, as soon as my body touches water, it knows what to do. It feels like a duck. Like, I mean, what does a duck do? You sit in water, it's not going to just sit there. It's going to kick those little legs. You put me in a pool, it's happening.
Everything just relaxes.
Oh, yeah.
Goes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And, and also, by the way, this is nature. Anybody who said children knows this. You put a kid in a bath, the first thing they do is they pee in that bath. I don't understand why this is so taboo. It's 2023.
Yeah.
Let's catch up, guys.
Oh, come on. Get in the pool. Don't worry about getting a little bit of water in your mouth with Rich's pee in it.
It's very dilute. We're talking about
Thousands of
Oh,
gallons.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus chlorine.
Wow.
Kills all the bacteria.
Nobody ever gave you the scare of, hey, if you pee in that pool, there's going to be a purple cloud that goes around you.
That is a myth.
Myth busted.
I know it was a myth, but it's designed to scare you.
My problem was I don't scare easily. So I was more of like the experimenter. I mean, listen, I think it's deplorable and detestable when somebody drops a hot log in a pool. And
Who does that? Well, I'm just outside of Caddyshack.
When I was a kid,
And that was a Baby Ruth.
It was a Baby Ruth.
We went to the public pool, and twice a summer when I was a kid, somebody pooped the pool.
Okay.
Good God.
Dude,
So,
Wait, they
well,
had to
2023
drain it.
is the year of finding out
I
Rich
know.
pees his pants all the time. 2023 also the year that Rich lost a bunch of weight.
Oh no, that's true. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is also accurate. Thank you, Fletch, for getting this back on the rails. I lost 35 plus pounds with sdfatloss.com, and so can you. I mean, I get it. I know this sounds like it's like every other gimmick you've heard. It's not. We've tried a lot of different things independently from each other. In fact, we tried to do something called next level fit guy stuff. That did not work.
Not great.
In fact, some of us got fatter. I'm not going to point fingers.
What?
Fingers.
Listen, all right? I had too much downtime. I had too much downtime.
You guys understand how much better a protein shake is with ice cream in it? That was an actual statement made on
I was
this
told
show.
I could eat as much bacon as I wanted.
It's the keto diet. SDFatLoss.com does it way differently. They give you a real diet that you can follow. It's super easy. I did this with these guys, but you should do it with a group of friends or your spouse or a grandfather or grandmother you're caring about, a niece, a nephew. Just find somebody to do it along with. It makes it so much more fun. You got the text messages going. Everybody's getting on the scale. The first 20 days are really quite an experience. We all cumulatively lost something close to 70 pounds over the first 20 days. It was wild. The weight just falls off you. So if you're waiting for the new year, don't wait. They've got this awesome promo going right now, $200 off holiday special now through December 31st. You can lock in the savings for the new year, by the way, if you do want to wait until January, but you could get started right now at sdfatloss.com. The number to call is 858-665-3211. Again, sdfatloss.com is the place to go. We've had a ton of success with it. We're spreading the word to our listeners, and we hope that you sign up today or in the new year. Okay, coming up next, we got to get back to it. It's the Wheel of Football. That's next.
This update is presented by the Jim Betrell Real Estate Team. It's hour 2 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. And in the NFL, yesterday the Browns sneak past the Bears 2017. Chiefs handle business against the Patriots 27-17. Niners clinch the NFC West with a 45-29 win over the Cardinals. Rams keep their playoff hopes alive with a 28-20 win over the Commanders. Bills crushed the Cowboys 31-10. And on Sunday Night Football, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens beat the Jags 23-7. College hoops, Aztecs return to action tomorrow night against St. Catharines at Viejas Arena. Tip-off at 7. We'll be on the air with pregame starting at 6:30. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Betrell has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Monday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you this hour. We're going to be giving away some tickets. We have 2 pairs. 1 pair will get you to Viejas Arena tomorrow night against St. Catharines is who Aztecs Hoops will be facing. Or you could win a pair of tickets to the Holiday Bowl, the 44th annual DirecTV Holiday Bowl between Louisville and USC, going to take place on December 27th, 5 o'clock kickoff over at Petco Park, followed by KGB Sky Show. Tickets available for both of those. One set over at goaztecs.com if you want to get to the basketball game. One set at holidaybowl.com if you want to buy tickets to the Holiday Bowl. But both pairs will be available to win on the show today. As promised, we're going to go over the NFL playoff picture in just a little bit. But before we do any of that, should we play a little bit of this?
Top storylines are on the board. It's time for the Wheel of Football.
Yeah, it's become a favorite on this show, mainly because we get to spin a wheel.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. That's exactly correct.
We're going to play the Wheel of Football today, and we got some interesting topics to dive into. So let's give it a spin, see what we come up with here. And it landed on...
That was the softest spin I've ever seen.
I'm telling you, somebody tightened the wheel. Hang on.
Give it a gut, like a gut. Yeah! Whoa, Jim, we almost lost the wheel.
Falling over.
All right, this time it lands on which AFC QB do you trust the most? This is really interesting, actually, because it almost was a knee-jerk response for the past 5 years. Patrick Mahomes. Who do you trust the most in the AFC now?
It's tough not to say Patrick Mahomes because the knee-jerk reaction this year would be, well, Lamar Jackson. But when I watched Lamar Jackson last night, well, yes, he's incredible. Yes, he's amazing and does things that nobody else in the world can do from the quarterback position. Lamar Jackson is one play away from the Ravens being irrelevant this season. And that's one play that Lamar Jackson could get hurt on. He leaves himself open to so much contact during an NFL game. He's cutting back and forth so many times on those knees. One time wrong. That's all it would take for the Ravens to be done for. Total, end of discussion. So my answer is still Patrick Mahomes.
You know what, Fletch? I agree with you. I have to go Patrick Mahomes on this as well. I want to say Lamar Jackson, but I can't even remember the last time I remember Lamar Jackson healthy in December.
That's a good point.
So it's
It
almost
wasn't
like
the 2 years before this one.
Uncharted territory here. So Lamar Jackson, prove me wrong. Prove to me that you're the guy. Look, I think he's MVP here, at least the front runner. But watching the Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, there is never a doubt in my mind that the Chiefs could not make something happen and score.
Anything about what we saw with the Buffalo Bills against the Cowboys, the fact that heads up, Josh Allen against Mahomes, Allen gets the win in the regular season here, and any of that factor into this decision-making calculus?
You're talking about who I trust the most.
That's right.
Okay, so I don't trust that man.
We'll put them head-to-head in the postseason. Game on the line, 2-minute drill.
That game could be played in Buffalo if things keep going the way it's been.
Game on the line, 2-minute drill, even if it's in Buffalo. If Patrick Mahomes has the ball or if Josh Allen has the ball, who do you trust more to get it done in a tie game?
I don't trust Josh Allen not to drop the thing.
Thank you. Or throw a pick. Me neither.
Yeah, look, Chiefs are my Super Bowl winner. That was my preseason pick. I'm going to stick with it. Look, Patrick Mahomes has done enough this season, but I will say this. He's also, it's not even his fault necessarily. It's that offense, those receivers, the lack of production this season. It just makes you pause more than in years
Did you
past.
see Kadarius Toney hand an interception
It's just
yesterday
every
to the
week.
Patriots?
He's done this 3 times. He's almost given away 3. Well, he's given away 2 games, and yesterday
Right,
it
but this
wasn't
was
close.
what he caught, and then threw it to the Patriots.
He is one of the most head-scrouching players in the NFL.
With the athleticism, like you can't put him on the bench because he can make plays that nobody else can.
Oh, and you have no choice.
But he
And-
also
yeah.
is an idiot.
He's they've got some work to do because those are plays, by the way, you'll beat the Patriots 27-17 making bonehead
Not in the
plays.
postseason.
Yeah, you're going to get caught in the postseason. Let's spin that wheel. Okay. Well, that was a good spin.
I made some adjustments to this thing, all right?
You take a little pill.
Tell you what.
Right.
Listen to that flapper go. What do you call the thing on the wheel? Is that a flapper?
I feel like there is an actual name for it.
The donger?
Yeah.
I feel like it's something.
It's something like that.
It's got to be.
Yeah, the donger. Well, this is where it ends up. Can a player other than a quarterback win the MVP in the NFL this season?
Okay, I'll go first here. Christian McCaffrey, what he has done this season, and he now has.
It's called a red pointer.
Oh no,
No,
that's such
that's
a lame.
stupid.
Of course, it's a
Call it the
pointer.
donger.
Christian McCaffrey feels like he could potentially win it. This guy is insanely talented. He won't. I guess to answer the question fairly, no, it's going to be a quarterback. A quarterback will win the MVP, but Tyreek Hill, if he comes back healthy next week and he continues on this path to 2,000, especially now, he can do it. And it'll be the same amount of games that it used to be. It'll be in 16 games instead of 17. It'll be really impressive if he does it.
Did you see the conspiracy theory
What's that?
that he sat out this game even though he didn't necessarily have to because he wanted it to be 16 games?
I think that's brilliant.
So that's not written by anybody real, but that's a conspiracy theory going around online, and it makes a lot of sense to me.
Or you could have just done it by the end of week 17 and
That's a good
not
point.
worried about that final game.
C-Mac, though, Tyreek Hill, I guess those are the only 2 names that come to mind, but it's going to be a
So
quarterback.
the issue with both of those guys, and I agree with you, they both are probably more deserving than any of the quarterbacks to this point. But Christian McCaffrey is going to split votes with Brock Purdy. Tyreek Hill is going to split votes with Tua Tagovailoa, leaving it wide open for Lamar Jackson to sneak his way into the MVP.
Interesting.
That's how I see it playing
Yeah,
out.
I don't feel like Lamar Jackson would sneak his way to the MVP winner, the race here. I think that he would be the front runner. He is the front runner. He would lead this thing. Do I see anyone other than a quarterback winning MVP? No, because I don't think C-Mac will get it. And I think that Tyreek Hill would be the next guy in line here, but we talked about it a few weeks ago. Tyreek Hill has a checkered past. Tyreek Hill is not the guy the NFL wants to put up at the podium and say, this is our guy. This is our most valuable player, our shining star of the league, because he's not the shining star of the league.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, things like that can happen again if there's a history of any sort of abuse in your past. So, yeah, I agree with that. I think it's going to be a QB. It's just the way it usually works. All right, Fletch, why don't you announce our next category as the wheel spins this sucker?
The donger's really flopping.
That donger is flapping.
Okay, we got the flip side of the first one. So the first one was which AFC QB do you trust the most, but now it's which NFC quarterback do you trust the most? And this conversation gets a little bit tricky.
Desmond Ritter.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Desmond Ritter threw an inconceivably poor 4th quarter interception. I had to fit that into the show. First of all, I hated the play. Arthur Smith had him rolling out to his non-throwing side and then leading the game by a point in the red zone was like, hey, check this out. I'm going to do something cool. And he threw it to 4 Panthers football players. And then
You lose to the Panthers with literally a very good chance to still win the division.
Yeah.
And now the Bucks are going to run away.
Anyway, so I don't
Okay.
trust him at all. I was just
Drew Lock
teasing.
is your real answer?
Yeah, Drew Lock. We're going to see
Drew
him
Lock.
tonight. As
Wait.
long as, what's his name? Geno Smith's groin can't go. It's going to be the Lock Show. Lock him down.
All right, real answer, Rich.
Okay. Real answer. NFC quarterback I trust the most. I guess. Yeah, it's got to be Brock Purdy. It's got to be Brock Purdy. I mean, that offense, that coach, those weapons, his talent. I can't get over how underrated he still is. It's Brock Purdy for me.
I don't even have to say anything. TD, go ahead.
Yeah. I agree with you, Rich. I agree. Who else you going to pick here? Not Dak Prescott. Too inconsistent.
Jalen Hurts is an option.
Okay.
Just saying.
Jalen Hurts, inconsistent. Jalen Hurts playing hurt. Jalen Hurts always seems like they have to dig their way out of something or try to figure out how to just nearly skate by a win. When you're looking at the NFC side, there's nobody else to choose than Brock Purdy.
Dak Prescott doesn't give you any heebie-jeebies?
Dak Prescott gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens. Dak Prescott looks great one game and then looks absolutely awful the next.
Dak Prescott, I'm going to start calling him home slippers because that guy, the only way he plays well is if he's wearing his home slippers. He's got his robe on. They're at AT&T Stadium.
Well, they've broken down the stats, and it's not just Dak. It's CeeDee. It's the tight ends. It's everybody on that team plays better at Jerry's work.
No question. Yeah.
And on turf, by the way. They've showed them when they're on turf fields across the league, they actually perform better.
Well, that's interesting, too. All right.
Ooh.
The wheel has landed
Almost
on
got one more click.
Yeah. The flapper has made its final dong, and it's landed on. Do we believe in Joe Flacco with the Browns? Are the Browns going to make it to the playoffs?
Here we go. I'll bet lead off on this one.
Okay.
Did you guys see Joe Flacco's contract, the way it's structured? So
No.
he played himself into a one-year deal with the Cleveland Browns for this season. Now he's making, I think, $75,000 a game. It's nothing crazy until the postseason. So this deal can be worth up to $4 million, $4.05 million
Sweet.
if Joe Flacco wins the Super Bowl. Now, when you take a step back and look at it, you look at the AFC and be like, well, everyone's falling apart. There's no quarterbacks left except for Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. But if the Cleveland Browns, with that defense, which is going to be tough to play in the postseason, can win a couple games here, I trust Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Joe Flacco signed himself a deal of you get paid $75,000, but if you win the Super Bowl, we'll give you $4 million.
Well, it's like every stage of the playoffs. Like if he wins the first game in the playoffs, he gets something. In the second game, something. It like the total of the contract would be worth $4 million if he wins the Super Bowl, but he can get up to like 3-5 if he just gets to the AFC Championship.
I completely understand.
Did you guys watch any of the Browns
Yes.
Bears game yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say Joe Flacco was not good,
No.
but he was good when it mattered.
So I'm not saying that he was all the way bad, but I'm going to go through their offensive series. It's going to make you laugh. So started out great, field goal touchdown. Then they go into this crazy, no. Started out poor. They go 3 and out, 4 and out, 3 and out, interception.
But I also
That's
saw
how the game started.
there was like a 70-yard touchdown to Amari Cooper in there.
$75,000.
I mean, like, dude, Joe Flacco is enough to get this Browns team into the postseason, first of all.
Yeah.
And probably win a couple games.
Here's what Joe Flacco's doing out in Cleveland. He's giving them some hope. He's giving them some spark. He's giving them some life. This Cleveland team isn't all bad. So if Joe Flacco can just do enough to eke out some wins, then yeah, I do believe they have some hope. Do I trust them? No. Do I believe? Yeah, they actually might do something here. However, you barely beat the Bears. I mean, you got lucky at the end there because you didn't bat down the ball. It was batted around and fell into a Browns hand.
All right, spin it, and I'm going to ask one more question about Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco or Deshaun Watson? Because right now it would be hard for me to say Deshaun Watson.
In terms of
Would you rather have them the rest of this season?
Oh, no, Deshaun Watson, hands down.
Are you sure?
Oh, hands down, yes. That's not even close
This season, the way both of them have played?
100% Deshaun Watson. Like, it's not even close in my brain.
I don't like
But
it. You say hands down with Deshaun Watson.
Good point. Yeah. As long as you got
Really
the towel
just, like,
down
throw it
first.
as hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is Jordan Love the Packers' future quarterback?
Careful touching those towels. I do think Jordan Love has done enough. I think he is the new franchise face of the Green Bay Packers. These last 2 games, a loss yesterday to the Buccaneers, that was a good spot to draw Tampa Bay. Getting them at Lambeau late in the season, that should have been a W for the Packers. They got bakered. Unfortunately for Jordan Love and company, but
Is Kenny Pickett the future of the Steelers?
oh, absolutely not.
Well,
Okay.
I'm just saying if Kenny Pickett has done enough, if anybody's saying that he's the future of the Steelers, then Jordan Love is definitely the future of
Did you
the
see
Green Bay Packers.
Who's tied for the amount of touchdown passes this season? Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett are tied with the same amount of touchdown passes this season.
Do you want to hear
Let
something?
that sink in for a second. Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett are tied with the same amount of touchdown passes this season.
Okay, Iowa football scored more passing touchdowns than Kenny Pickett had this season. Sam Laporta has caught more touchdown passes than Kenny Pickett has thrown this season.
Wow.
He's a tight end with the Detroit Lions.
Wow.
Like, Kenny Pickett has had an awful season. So I don't think he's the future in Pittsburgh. I do think Jordan Love has done enough to
At
be
least
the
one
future
more
in Green
year.
Bay.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, around the NFL, Baltimore becomes the first AFC team to clinch a playoff spot. They beat the Jags 23-7. The Bills wrecked the Cowboys 31-10. The Chiefs are back with a convincing 27-17 win over the Patriots, who have a pretty good defense. They have pretty good defense, even though Kadarius Toney tried to give another game away with a costly drop pass that ended up being an interception. That interception puts Patrick Mahomes at 13 for the season, tying his career record that he set in 2021. So congrats to him. Has a chance to break that next week. Joe Flacco and the Browns, we just talked about it. They beat the Bears 20-17. The Dolphins put the nail in the Jets' coffin for the season as they win 30-0. I would imagine that means it's going to be several more fortnights until we see Aaron Rodgers back on the field, since he has no reason to come back and play this season. The 49ers, they beat the Cardinals in convincing fashion as well, 45-29. With that Niners win, that means the Eagles have now clinched a playoff berth. And tonight, Monday Night Football, the first ever flexed Monday night game. We were supposed to see Taylor Swift and the Chiefs. Now we're watching the Eagles take on the Seahawks.
Yeah, how about that? The Patriots, of all teams, especially after the past 2 decades, are the first ever team that's ever, and look, it's not the Chiefs. I promise you it's not the Chiefs.
Yes.
The first ever team that's been flexed out of a Monday Night Football spot ever.
Imagine that's the thing that Bob Kraft brings to Bill Belichick. He's like, hey, Bill, look, it's been a great run, man, but you got us flexed out of a Monday nighter. So bye.
I'll tell you what, dude, I think it's part of the calculus. You're
I
effing
don't
with
know
the
why
dude's
would-
money.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I do have-
absolutely.
That leads me to a question. Do teams get bonuses for being on primetime?
Oh, do teams know? But they do get, look, so
Because you see every year how it breaks down. Like the Giants will always get like 6 or 7 primetime games. The Broncos, for some reason, always get 6 or 7. But then there's some teams, Carolina Panthers, who maybe get 1.
I bet you what happens when you are a team like, I don't know, the Cowboys or the Patriots over the past 2 decades, where you get those 5 primetime games plus more into the postseason and stuff, your local ad rate goes skyrocketing.
Right.
Because all of those local advertisers that want to have a bigger national footprint, they have to pay that much more to get in with you, because anything that's being, advertised around the stadium could potentially be seen on national television up to
Yeah.
5 times a game. So
Yeah.
it all makes you more money.
And guess what? The ad rate out in New York and Denver and Chicago and Los Angeles is a lot higher than it is in Carolina.
Yeah,
So,
there's no question about
It's all
that.
about making that money.
Or in Foxborough.
What's more important to you, seeing a good game or watching a game on Monday Night Football that actually has some playoff implications?
Ooh, good question. Seeing a good game. Ask the question again.
So, like the Chiefs took on the Patriots,
Yeah.
which wasn't a bad watch. It was fairly close.
10-point game. Vegas nailed the spread.
Right. And then now we have the Eagles and the Seahawks, which I understand Eagles favored by 3 here. To me, this doesn't feel like the Seahawks are going to do a whole lot. This kind of feels like it's going to be lopsided, maybe a little bit of a boring game. However, the Seahawks have an opportunity if they win here
Yeah.
to keep their playoff hopes alive. Meanwhile, the Patriots, it was meaningless other than, the Chiefs playing for a top seed here.
So you can guarantee me watching a great primetime game, or I can choose to take my chances with the one with playoff expectations.
Yes, that's correct.
The playoff one.
Okay.
Because it's all about that, right? Essentially, especially at this time of the season. Okay. On the other side, we're going to get into this. Do you want to see a football game for less than $1? That was a possibility this past week, and we'll explain how.
Boys, it's time to talk about Prize Picks, and I want you to go to prizepicks.com/Fletch right now. Get yourself a $100 first match deposit bonus, and I'll tell you the reason why you need to do it right now, because over the weekend, I dipped my toe into the MMA world for the first time in terms of making a Prize Picks entry with MMA fighters. I won $500 on a $20 entry because of prizepicks.com. And if you use /Fletch at the end of that or promo code Fletch on the app, you're going to get a $100 deposit match for your first entry. Again, I won $500 on a $20 entry. All you got to do is select 2 or more players. enter more or less on their stat projections for the game or the match, and you could win big. It's a skill-based fantasy game. It's the biggest daily fantasy platform in North America, and quick withdrawals. So I mentioned I won the $500 this weekend. I hit the withdrawal button yesterday on Sunday. This morning on Monday, I wake up and the money is already in my bank account. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app on the continent. Prize Picks offering weekly promotions that could lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discount select player projections up to 25% to make even more value. And Prize Picks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account this football and basketball and MMA season. Get on over to prizepicks.com/Fletch. First deposit match up to $100. Become a winner like I did this weekend. $20 entry, $500 win. That money already in my bank account. Prizepicks.com/Fletch. This update is presented by Macy's Backstage. Starting off in the NFL yesterday, Browns sneak past the Bears 2017. Chiefs handle business against the Patriots 27-17. Niners clinch the NFC West with a 45-29 win over the Cardinals. Rams keep their playoff hopes alive with a 28-20 win over the Commanders. Bills crush the Cowboys 31-10. And on Sunday Night Football, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens take down the Jags 23-7. College hoops, Aztecs returning to action tomorrow night against St. Catharines at Viejas Arena. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. We'll be on the air with pregame coverage beginning at 6:30. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about the perfect holiday gifts, just $25 and under, like matching family PJs, fragrance sets, toys, and more. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Big Rich TD and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. You do want to keep it tuned in here because we do have a couple giveaways that we promised one this hour, and I can't remember which one.
We kind of left it up in the air.
Oh, okay.
So it's either going to be Holiday Bowl or Aztecs men's hoops tickets. Either way, both games are coming up, by the way. We got Holiday Bowl next week, the 27th. That's going to kick off at 5 p.m. at Petco Park, followed by KGB Sky Show. And then we got Aztecs hoops tomorrow night. Woo! That's going to be over at Viejas, St. Catharines. When does that tip off? When does pregame get underway?
7 o'clock tip off, in the air about pregame. It's either going to be 6 or 6:30.
Okay.
I think it's leaning towards 6:30. But the cool part about the next couple Aztecs home games is that the students are gone. So if you're looking, not that like the show is one of the best. No, it makes one of the best home environments in all of college basketball. But San Diego State does a really good job of creating packages for these 3 games where they have at home, where it's much more family oriented.
Yeah, finally, the place can be cleaned up.
Get the
students out of there.
All those breasts and bodies and arms and limbs and bare-chested, chiseled pectoral men.
Now, I did talk to somebody at San Diego State. They're still expecting all 3 of these games to be sellouts. So if you want tickets, go Aztecs.com or just keep talking over me because screw me.
No, dude.
No. Come on.
Hey, Benjamin, have you ever been to Congress?
Yeah.
No, but I heard some weird stuff goes on there.
No, it's good. Just make sure you have a video camera.
You ever hear of the insurrection? I want to talk to you about a different guy. Anyways, look.
So go Aztecs.com to buy that special holiday package.
Have you seen how tall the Washington Monument is?
You ever sat on Honest Abe's lap? Anyways, look, the point is,
he'll keep you honest.
The Carolina Panthers had tickets for sale for less than 50 cents. That is not a lie. On the secondary market, this game hosted in Carolina between themselves and the Atlanta Falcons. They announced, this is not a lie also. If you go and you can't find anywhere where they say it any differently. The Carolina Panthers announced attendance of 70,000 people at a game where there was a handful of people in the stands.
So I saw a video yesterday. It was either on Barstool or one of those type accounts, but it was a video of 2015, that stadium. This was Cam's MVP year. It was towards the end of the season. The playoff race was really piping up. And that crowd was one of the coolest environments I've ever seen at an NFL game in Carolina. Just the amount of people that were there going crazy. They're like 6 hours before the ball game. And then it cut quick to 2023. And the crowd that was there yesterday. And a handful of people might be exaggerating. Like you had little freckles of people throughout that crowd.
Have you watched the intro to Ted Lasso where he walks into the stadium by himself and sits down? That's what it looked like at this stadium.
Yeah,
I mean, you were all, there was a smattering of people.
Wait, so why would they announce 70,000 people?
Oh, it's an embarrassment. And then on top of it, they're piping in fake crowd noise.
Right.
I mean, it's an embarrassment. So David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers for the past 5 years, he came from the Steelers organization, then bought in after the NFL shoved out Jerry Richardson, and he has ran this team into the ground. I mean, look, Ron Rivera, whatever you think about him, got rid of him. Cam Newton obviously was getting old, but all the decisions after that have just been disaster after disaster after disaster,
including the number 1 overall pick last year.
Yeah, Bryce Young looks lost.
He looks lost. He looks small. He doesn't look up for the challenge. Like that's one of the quarterbacks you look at from this rookie class, and you see CJ Stroud and Will Levis kind of lighting teams up. And Anthony Richardson, before he got hurt, was lighting teams up. Yeah. And then Bryce Young, he just looks like the odd man out, and he was the one you selected first, that you traded a boatload of things, including next year's number 1 overall pick, most likely, to the Chicago Bears.
Would you go to, honestly, though, like, okay, So imagine this scenario. Instead of living here in San Diego,
Okay.
we lived in, I don't know, North Carolina, somewhere, Charlotte. And all of a sudden I said, like, guys, I got us a sweet deal on tickets. We could go. I mean, we could basically sit wherever we want and see Bryce Young. I just need 50 cents from each of you. Would you be going with me in the rain to go watch the Falcons play the Panthers?
Clearly, the answer is no.
No,
Because no one did it.
sit in the rain. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to do that. Look, and why did they announce 70,000 tickets were sold? Because or in attendance, I suppose, because that's how many tickets were probably sold. Because somebody picked up 30,000 tickets at a dime a piece and thought they could turn around and make a little bit of money on it, and they didn't.
Jeez. I mean, what?
And they have the season ticket sales that are always baked into that number.
Yeah, and then the licensing fee. Imagine if you are a season ticket holder and you're like, okay, listen, I'm going to probably make it to 5 games this year. I'm going to sell my other 3 tickets. They got the first overall pick. I'll probably not make a profit, but I'll make back some of the money that I spent to get these season tickets. And then you try to sell them and you're like, what, $1's too high? Like, by how much? I'm overcharging by 200%? Holy cow.
I wonder what parking is at the stadium.
Oh, God.
It's $175.
So let's take a quick look at the playoff picture, because the Carolina Panthers are eliminated. On the NFC side, though, first seed is the San Francisco 49ers. And
Say it again.
It feels like they're there with a bullet. Nobody's catching.
Well, they got the Ravens next week. It's going to be a hell of a game.
That'll be a fun watch.
Possible Super Bowl preview?
Yeah.
If you listen to all the people before the season saying that the Super Bowl teams have already picked, Niners, Ravens was the option.
Yeah, that's a little weird, by the way.
I do
find the color scheme of the Super Bowl.
I also thought it was strange that about 3 weeks after that conspiracy came out, they gave a secondary Super Bowl logo that had almost no color in it.
All right, Rich Hornberger, you've denied it for years and made fun of it for years, but sit down in that chair. TD, handcuff him.
Yes.
Where is the script?
We want to find the script.
All right, guys. I actually never played in the NFL.
Oh, God.
Here's my Screen Actors Guild card.
Yeah. As it turns out, I was acting the entire time. In fact, I had several surgeries that they paid for just to make this more
This is what I'm talking about. Every time we bring up the script, he starts making up some story. He starts laughing. He gets uncomfortable. Look at him. He's red in the face.
That's not true.
Listen, so this year, Rich, you're going to get hurt. We're going to have surgery.
Just like, again? Like, what are we doing?
I feel like my audience is tired of this.
Do you guys mind if I like look ahead and see what the script says? It's like, okay, injured, concussion, knee. What?
But hey, that 2013 year when you got your script to be like, oh, I'm going to get into a playoff game and really help the Chargers win a game against the Bengals, was it?
Oh, yeah.
It was the Bengals.
Yeah.
And like you were touted as a hero after that one. You must have seen that script and been like, ho, Richie's time to shine.
And then the following year, he looked ahead and went, wait, you're going to kill me off week 8?
Guys, it's not
to the Cardinals.
It's not scripted, but that was a juicy plot line. Look, when you look at the NFL picture, it's really kind of
script.
When you look at the playoff script, is what I meant to say. It really does kind of feel like the AFC. You're gonna need 10 wins to get into the tournament. On the NFC side, we may see like a sub 500 team make it in the wild card.
We may see, a couple.
It's possible. Like right now, like when you look at the AFC, the 7th seed is the Colts with 8 wins. Bengals are still up there. Jake Browning, by the way, I have no idea how they're keeping the wheels on, but he's doing a nice job.
Well, then you have the Texans and the Bills who are outside of the playoff picture, also both 8 and 6.
Yeah. And nipping at everyone's heels. On the NFC side, it's the Rams with 7 wins. They're hanging on to that 7 seed. You got the Minnesota Vikings still hanging in there with 7 wins. You have a division leader, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with 7 wins. You got a bunch of 6-win teams behind them. Seahawks right there.
I'm back on my NFC South. Just annex them. Just get them out of the league.
Be done with
Especially after that Desmond Ridder pick yesterday. Like the NFC South can just go away. We don't need them anymore.
I can't believe there are 22 teams that still have a shot to make this thing.
Name a team, though, each conference that you think is like at the bottom of the barrel, right? You know, they're in the wild card or just outside, who you think is going to end up with a division win. Like going to be one of the final 4 teams, or I should say with a wild card win, Final four teams standing in their conference come the divisional round.
AFC side is very easy to me. It's the Buffalo Bills.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
they're coming on
They're
so
still on the
strong
outside
at the end of the
looking in.
year. They're
Yep.
starting to look like the team they were supposed to be. NFC side is tricky, man, because you got a bunch of options of teams that I think are kind of bad, right? But then you have the Rams, who are sitting at the very bottom of the playoff picture, and I could absolutely see the Rams being a tough place or a tough team to play in the first round of the playoffs, especially.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
NFC side, I think it'll be the Rams. AFC side, I feel like it's going to be the Texans. They just got to win with Case Keenum. This feels like the team of destiny.
Wait,
this
If
year.
they get
looking
CJ
for-
Stroud back, who hasn't looked like a rookie all year, but who knows, he could get exposed in the playoffs.
You're looking for a team who's in the hunt, who's going to make it, or are you looking for a
Like-
team who's going to win the division?
Who's going to win one playoff game.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
win
yeah.
That's
one
what
playoff
Rich is
game.
saying.
But
God,
like,
the Rams.
yeah,
It's the
okay.
Rams. It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Rams. I mean, interesting though, in the NFC South, where I thought the Bucks were going to win this thing and have a sub 500 record. Now I'm kind of feeling like the Saints all of a sudden work their way up and take this.
I
They
can
have
see
the
that.
same record, but the Bucks would have the tiebreaker over the Saints, which is why the Bucks are still at the top of the division.
They look good against the Giants.
Baker, when he's good, man, he's really good.
Well, the Bucks look good against Packers, but I mean, Derek Carr against the Giants. I mean, it finally looked like things were clicking into gear
but
for the
it's the
Saints.
Giants.
Well,
yeah,
it was the Saints the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season. You went, oh wow, this could be a serious team. They're getting some wins here. They look great, and then they just fell off the map.
Same as the Bucks. They started 3-1. And everyone's looking like, oh, Tampa Baker, this is going to work. And then they went on a skid, and now they're kind of back. So the Saints and Bucks have had almost an identical season.
do you
Yeah.
guys ever hear of the Saint Servatius?
No.
Okay, it's the patron saint of feet. Why do I bring that up? Because at the Good Feet Star, they have art supports.
It's a hell of
Home
a
run.
tie-in. Hell of a tie-in.
Home run.
Wow. Wow.
And at the Good Feet Store, if you're struggling with back pain, hip pain, knee pain, ankle pain, foot pain,
Why is there a patron saint of feet?
I don't know, but his feast day is May 13th, and I can't wait because I'm going to talk to the Good Feet Store about maybe hosting a delicious feast at their store. This way we could all celebrate some pain relief together.
He's not even making this up. That's legit.
No, yeah, I was looking over at the at his computer here.
I whipped
He's
out
done
the
some
Google for
research.
this one. Saint Servatius. Anyways, the Good Feet Store kind of feels like my patron saint of feet because when I went there, I had doubts. I honestly did. How is something I'm going to wear in my shoes going to help my back? But that's exactly what happened. You spend a lot more time on your feet than you think you do throughout the portion of the day, especially if you have little kids running around your own or your grandkids, or if you want to go out golfing with your buddies or walk the mall during the holiday season. You go home and you're rubbing your knees, your ankles, your back is bugging you the next morning when you wake up. You want to fix that. Well, your feet are the foundation of your body. And if you wear these arch supports, slowly but surely, you're going to see your life change. And I felt that recovery myself after a 6-year NFL career, multiple surgeries. We were just talking about it. The Good Feet Store can help me, then they can definitely help you too. Head to goodfeet.com to check out their arch supports. Schedule yourself a free fitting and test walk with their pros over there. It's absolutely incredible. We all did this together as a show years ago. We all still wear these arch supports, and so should you. Okay, that's goodfeet.com to book your free test fitting today. Coming up next, the Warriors. The Warriors have ended a streak, and we need to get into that. But first, let's give away our first ticket giveaway.
844-570-1360 is the number to call. Which ones do you guys want to give?
Oh,
Or we do a dealer's choice?
Let's do dealer's choice.
Okay.
Allow the caller to pick his or her prize. Okay, 844-570-1360. Caller number
6.
Caller number 6. You get to choose between Holiday Bowl tickets or Aztecs Hoops tickets. And coming up next, we'll get into this Warriors headline on the other side. Coming up next, the Warriors record. We'll get into it on the other side. Okay, so Rich here for sdfatloss.com. I've lost 35 plus pounds. I'm wearing pants that haven't fit in, months, years. I'm also wearing clothes, t-shirts, jackets, sweatshirts that haven't fit in also years. It's just been incredible how much weight over such a short amount of time I've been able to not only lose, but also sustain. No exercise required, no counting points or calories, no prepackaged meals, no hormones, no drugs, no injections. You should schedule your free consultation today by calling this number 858-665-3211 or just going online at sdfatloss.com. If you have tried to get healthier on your own or lose weight and become frustrated with little to no results, or if you've tried every diet out there and nothing seems to work for you, you're a lot like me. You're a lot like us. This whole show was kind of on that path for a while. And if you're tired of hearing the phrase like you can't lose weight because of your age, or there's no solution that's perfectly curtailed for you, the answer is that's completely false. With sdfatloss.com, they curtail their plan to you specifically. They set up meetings with you. They message you frequently. They have an integrated app that you can use along with your weight loss to track your journey and successes. And frankly, if you get stuck at any point, or if you have questions or you need help, there are avenues to reach out and people who will support you. Wayne and Chloe, the weight loss team at sdfatloss.com, have been invaluable in our weight loss, achieving our goals, and keeping the weight off. They're also running a promotion during the holiday season. So a $200 off holiday special going on now through December 31st. So you can lock in the savings now, and you could actually start your weight loss journey first thing in January if you're interested. Again, that number 858-665-3211, or head online at sdfatloss.com. Hey, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you on a Monday morning. Thrilled to be here with you. And if you're listening on the free iHeartRadio app, we certainly do appreciate it. Best way to listen to the show, share a link with friends. Best way to support the show. If you haven't downloaded the free iHeartRadio app, you should. It is the best way to receive this show, but also Christmas music. It's the holiday season. If you're entertaining this holiday season, great way to throw in some jams. So it's super fun, and it's the best way to stay in touch.
And it's crystal clear no matter where you go. So you can take us with you all the way across the country, around the world if you want.
Lots of local radio shows are off this week. No offense to anybody, but we're here.
Yeah.
And we're working Monday through Friday.
No offense, but it's about to get offensive.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to go to each and every one of their studios, and we're going to do some stuff in there.
We're
talking about like congressional stuff.
That's right.
It's going to get
That's
weird.
right.
We're going to take pictures and video.
We're here.
We're here. You're
all
not,
week, baby.
Sorry, we're gonna soil your chairs.
That's right. That's right. I mean, we're gonna give new meaning to capital gains.
yeah. And gross product, domestic production.
Yeah, I'm sorry I brought it up.
It's gonna be super gross.
Yeah. So no offense, but offensive.
So Steph Curry's streak of 268 straight games with a three-pointer made came to an end. Before last night, the last time he played in a game and he didn't make a three-pointer was in November of 2018.
Golly.
So
That's a long time.
Steph Curry out of Davidson was one of these undersized guards that had a legacy because his dad played in the league for a while. What's going on? What's going on?
We got a text.
We do? Hang on. What is the text?
Producer Shelley. Oh, wait, you weren't on the text.
Oh, okay.
Producer Shelley, who was going to be our guest bartender, I don't think this week. I think she wants to do it for New Year's.
Oh,
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll make some changes there. But she's going to be our guest bartender. She's come in here and been a guest host during a Bar Cart Friday before. Lovely individual. Just said, I triple dog dare you to enter our studio. Tati and I will F you up. That is not censored, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, listen.
1, thanks for listening, producer Shelley.
2,
Yeah.
she's right. I think that her and Tati could take all 3.
No, I would put Tati in the walls of Jericho. I would destroy Shelley.
Hold on.
Do you know how much stronger I am than both of those women? I mean, it would be
Shelley
a
works
massacre.
out like
Shelley would
every
kick your
day.
ass.
Dude.
Hold on. Like
Not as worried about Tati.
Okay.
we'd have to take out Tati without producer Shelley knowing.
I feel
because
like
if she came in,
I feel like with Tati, I would take her out first, and then I would throw her at producer Shelley. I would use Tati as a weapon against her.
Glad we said
producer.
no offense to start this segment.
Oh my God. Sorry, we're just talking about murder.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
and you're
She's coming
involved.
in. She's coming in. I'm gonna click this mic on right here. Yeah, go ahead. This
hey.
mic's live for you, producer Shelley.
No, I was just walking by. I was like, oh, look at the boys are here. This is great. This is awesome. And I was like, I'm going to tune in because I'm a Browns fan. I was going to see you guys were talking about the Browns.
We have talked Browns.
Talking
Yeah.
about
Are you
the
big?
flag.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I hear you guys are like, oh, we're the only morning show here. We're live. This
Well,
and that.
yeah, there's
and Tati
that.
and I are here holding it down. So.
Okay.
I will
We're
say
one,
this.
We're one of 2.
But you will murder us and you're stronger than both of
Okay,
us.
okay. I may. Okay,
No,
now that
I don't have
you're in-
murder. Did we say murder?
Well, you guys talked about doing congressional stuff in our studio.
That is
and
true.
That's where I had to step in.
Yeah, but it's gonna get real messy real fast.
Honestly, we keep up with the news, and
That's right.
yeah, like we understand what Congress and what the Capitol building means to the
Sex tapes.
Yeah, here, check
Yeah.
this out.
Oh, I
Yeah,
heard. Yeah,
yeah,
that,
yeah,
that
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
So
Those are
that's what's happening to you.
yeah.
when
who's the-
when
wait,
3
So
guys get
what's
there,
Fletch's role in all of this?
videotape.
Yeah. He's gonna be the
Somebody has to
cameraman.
hold the camera.
He's gonna be the camera person.
Yeah,
okay.
sorry.
Go to
Yeah,
break.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No big deal.
Apparently we're being screamed at. Break.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
the producer Twitch and me is starting to
Mm.
feel his
He
twitch.
gets a
Well,
little itchy.
Yeah, he
definitely
does. He does.
Okay.
Because it's all, skating the line with the FCC. So I use air quotes.
I will say this, like I was positive that I would be able to beat up Shelley, and then she came in here. It's much harder to say that when she's in studio.
right,
Just
right,
because
yeah.
she is very strong, and she makes me nervous. I'm
She-
a little sweaty right now.
And I feel like, she could go 0 to 100 in an instant.
yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
saw how fast I made it from my studio.
You
to yours,
did, yeah.
so-
But you work out.
She's an
Yeah,
athlete.
I
Yeah.
do.
She's an athlete.
Yeah, we see that.
Man,
Yeah.
Rich has the nicest
All right,
teeth.
boys, love you. Bye.
Bye. Catch you later,
bye.
Shelley.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit when we invade your studio.
We'll get back to Steph Curry and the Warriors a different time. I want to talk to you guys about my dentist. Okay. Dr. Jordan Colby is one of the best dentists I've ever had. Actually, I can say it pretty much. He's the best dentist I ever had because I met this guy and immediately I was like, all right, I have a lot of problems here. I'm missing teeth. I need 3 implants. I need another one taken out. And he didn't make me feel like a pariah. He was like, well, you came to the right spot. And he immediately developed a plan that I was comfortable with. And he made it so that it was actionable. Like we could get this done and you can stay on the air and continue doing your broadcast. I don't know if you ever thought about it. I mean, I certainly did. Getting dental work done when you're a broadcaster that's what you do for a living. All you're doing is just flapping your gums all day long. And so I was worried about getting these procedures done. I was worried how much time I was going to have to miss. And I missed none. I legitimately, I had an implant, 3 implants put in. I didn't miss a single day of show. I wasn't working with pain. I wasn't working with swelling. I have no idea. This guy's a magician, but Dr. Jordan Colby, if you are looking to get any dental work done, you need to go to Ocean View Dental. Check them out at oceanviewdental.net. State-of-the-art technology. All of the appointments were done in one office. Like I said, he explained my procedure in detail, and I walked out of that office after our first consultation feeling 100% confident and comfortable. His motto is, no matter your situation, he can help you create a confident and healthy smile. And that's what he did for me. Again, oceanviewdental.net, world-class, family-oriented dental practice. There's one at Ocean View Dental in Oceanside, but there's also one in Fallbrook. They provide amazing dental care for you and your family. So if you're looking for your next teeth cleaning, if you're looking for a new dentist, or if you have major dental practices or procedures that need to be done, oceanviewdental.net.
Hour 3, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by Macy's Backstage. Starting off in the NFL, Browns sneak past the Bears 2017. Chiefs handle business against the Patriots 27-17. Niners clinch the NFC West with a 45-29 win over the Cardinals. Rams keep their playoff hopes alive with a 28-20 win over the Commandos. Bills crush the Cowboys 31-10. Sunday Night Football, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens beat the Jags 23-7. Woo! College hoops. Aztecs returning to action tomorrow night against St. Catharines at Viejas Arena. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. We'll be on the air with pregame coverage beginning at 6:30. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about the perfect holiday gifts? Just $25 and under, like matching family PJs, fragrance sets, toys, and more. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Monday to those who celebrate Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you all week long as we get you ready for your holiday shopping, as you take us with us wherever you go on the free iHeartRadio app. We'll be right there with you, passengers, companions.
Can I point something out here?
Go ahead.
We have producers of other shows in this building who are on the air who listen to our show instead of their show.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a feather in the cap, baby.
Dude, I get it.
dude. Yeah, I mean,
I
I get
am-
it. I get it. I listen to our show.
By the way, Eddie Papani driving around in that sexy new F-150 that he got.
Yeah.
Guess what his radio station's always on?
I know which one.
Wow.
San Diego Sports 760.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Jesse
Yeah,
Lozano,
yeah.
Shelly, producer Shelly just dropped by. I know they're huge listeners. Yeah, look,
I don't listen to any of their shows.
I don't either. And I don't even feel bad about
What?
it a little bit.
Well, we're on the air. I mean,
That's the point.
we're talking, and they're spinning the hits.
Yeah. They're
Press
running.
and play on an iPod.
Yeah, these guys. I mean,
Shelly's gonna come back over here and
I know.
beat
Honestly,
our brains in.
do you see her calves when
Yeah.
she walked out of here?
We're very defined.
Yeah, if she roundhouse kicked me in the face, that would be the last kick I ever take.
It'd be cool though.
You better get it on film. This would be a one-act.
Speaking
Yeah.
of which, round of applause for our boy Patty the Batty, friend of the
Wow.
show.
Yeah.
Got the
Yeah,
win
pretty
over a old Tony Ferguson who looked old.
Dana White actually said it
Mm.
after that fight.
He needs to retire.
Yeah, he said, my hope is that he does. Yeah, Tony Ferguson, look, I understand the fight game. I watched boxing growing up. I was a huge Mike Tyson fan. And I remember there were just certain fights that a fighter has to take because it's a big name, but a fading star. Like when Lennox Lewis was on the rise and he fought Tyson, but it wasn't young Tyson, it was old Tyson. And it sort of felt vacant in some ways. Like Lewis ducked him in the early portion of his career. It felt like it. I love Lennox Lewis. This sounds like I'm condemning him for the way he operated his career. He wasn't ready to face Tyson. And when he finally was, it wasn't Tyson, unfortunately. And so we never got the showdown we wanted. That's kind of what happened on Saturday night with Patty the Batty
They're
and
trying
Tony
to elevate
Ferguson.
him.
Yeah, they
So,
want Patty to be the next
Right.
Conor McGregor.
And they can see Patty in the sport he has from Liverpool, and they want to expand UFC internationally. They want to do fights in Liverpool at one of the 60,000 seat stadiums that they have for soccer. So the only way to do that is to get Patty some big wins under his belt. And while this was not a big win in terms of competition, this was a huge win in terms of name.
Yeah, recognition. Yeah.
Because Tony Ferguson is the boogeyman.
And by the way, Patty the Batty, he's invited back anytime he wants.
Anytime.
We caught him in the off season,
Right.
and he was promoting his smokes. And
Patty's baddies.
Patty was a fatty when he was sitting down with us.
Well, the nice part about that fight is he didn't really take any damage.
No.
So you're talking quick turnaround for his next training camp. Like they could get UFC 320 maybe in London.
Yeah.
You know, when he was here, it was a Bar Cart Friday. We offered him a drink. He declined, and then he did ask for a cherry Coke. And then after that fight, he
Cherry
said,
Coke.
"Yeah, he said I have a cherry Coke. I'm happy."
Yeah. He had a cherry Coke and several slices of pizza while he was still wearing his ring attire. It was
Dude, he was
awesome.
Like
gassed.
red underwear.
So if they're trying to get Patty ready for a title fight, that cardio needs to go up. Because in
Mhm.
the third round, all he could do was just lay down on top of Tony Ferguson.
Well, he came in right off the bat for the
He
kill,
was
right?
just throwing punches like crazy.
I mean, it was right at the get-go. He was going for the knockout, to be done with the thing, and then it ended up lasting 3 rounds.
I love also like when you listen to somebody from somewhere else, but they speak the same language. Like obviously the accent, the Liverpool accent, but also like the sayings are different. He's like, "Oh, lad, it blew me load in the first round."
Yeah, I need something
right.
different here, Patty.
I gave him the Liverpool flipper, and I was just like, "What the hell is that?" I gave him a little bit of the do. It's very funny to hear, And then he got me on the Roger Round, and then I was like, "Well, if you're gonna do that, no shame in my game, fella." Or a lot.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it, man.
Actually, holy cow!
Nothing to it but to brew it.
San Diego iHeart Cool Guy is Patty the Batty without the accent.
That's it.
Holy. All right. Well, we'll get back to that at a
Can we
different time.
get
But
him
yeah,
on? Are we allowed to have him on?
Cool guy?
I think so.
No.
Probably.
Patty.
No. Cool guy.
Yeah. We probably could.
Why not?
It's kind of fun keeping it mysterious.
Yeah,
though.
I know.
Well, we
I
don't
just-
put him on camera. Just let him come in and talk because the voice he uses for his talking voice is different from the voice you hear on air.
It's the voice of God. I mean, honestly, when he talks, it's like you're talking to cool Jesus.
I
Until
wanted-
nobody would know who it was if we just brought him in and did an interview without him on camera.
No question.
Yeah, man, but there's nothing to it but to brew it,
Yeah.
It's hanging and banging,
I'll
brother.
tell you right now, you know what I like? Iced coffee, cool beans. Anyways. Wait, what? How did you put that together?
Exactamente.
Wait, is that how Cool Beans came about?
I don't know.
Because it feels very plausible.
That just came to my brain. That is something
I like it, man.
absolutely he would say, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
There's
so you
no
gotta have
question.
That ice coffee. I put that ice in there,
So if you were watching like us, a lot of
Oh.
Saturday and Sunday football this weekend, some of the things you noticed.
Are we going to talk about the injury?
Oh,
The
my
legs
gosh.
don't bend backwards. Did we
Oh.
notice that?
Keaton Mitchell.
So you have those moments when you're watching football and where everybody knows exactly what just happened. That Keaton Mitchell injury last night, after he was ripping off 12-yard gain after 12-yard gain after 12-yard gain, well, he gets past the first down marker and tries to make a move, and the leg does the thing that you don't want the leg to do, which is bend inside out.
There was an Alien movie. TD, I know you'll remember this one. And it actually starred Charlie Sheen. And at the end of the movie, they find out the kids are aliens and their knees bend backwards and they run away in the desert. And that scene has left an impression on my brain. And that is, if you find the still shot, and I don't suggest you do if you have a weak stomach, of Baltimore Ravens running back Keaton Mitchell, if you find the still shot of his knee, it reminded me, I think the movie's called The Arrival.
Yeah.
So
Is
if
that
nobody's
it? Yeah,
seen
The
that
Arrival.
movie,
No.
a more current example, Stranger Things, the latest
Hang on.
season, when Vecna would curse somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. That's 1,000,000% it. Yes. Right.
Hang on, let me show you the picture.
That's why. The reason
it.
the reason nobody watched The Arrival, by the way, in 1996 is because there was another alien movie in 96, Independence
Oh,
Day.
that's right.
Yeah. So no one cared about Charlie Sheen's alien comedy.
Dude, dude,
You
it
know how
was.
rich Charlie Sheen is?
Oh, I mean, he's got that 2.5 Men money.
Yeah, he's like over $200 million rich.
He's got that tiger blood, dog.
Oh man.
Yeah. Winning.
Winning, that's right.
You remember when he was in the thruple before the Tiger King, but his was a thruple you would want to be in?
Right.
Okay, look up who he was dating at I think her name was Brie, and there was another lady star. Yeah,
I
dude,
type in Charlie Sheen trouble and I get a timeline of a troubled life of Charlie Sheen.
No.
It was his goddesses, right?
Oh, that's what it
Yeah,
was.
he called
That's
them
what
his
it was.
goddesses.
What were their names? It
Let's
was
see,
Brie.
hang on.
Olsen?
Wow, this was 12 years ago.
That seems actually, yeah, the math adds up. The math do math.
Natalie Kelly and Rachel Oberlin,
Mm,
a porn star.
right.
Just by the way, he didn't hide anything.
No.
It was like, no, we're doing blow and
Yeah.
things.
You should just go ahead and do a quick.
But anyways,
image
Keaton
search.
Mitchell's knee
Yeah.
went inside out.
It's
and
no
so
good.
Is that the MCL, PCL, ACL, the trifecta? Because that's what it kind of looked like to me. But obviously, we don't know anything.
It depends. We'll talk to Dr. David Chow tomorrow about the injury, and I didn't see his report on it on X after the injury occurred. But it depends on the flexibility of his ligaments. Like, you can destroy your entire knee with something like that, or if you have like more laxity in the joint, you may get lucky and only tear one thing and maybe partially a couple others.
So Doc's report on this on Twitter was hashtag Keaton Mitchell. Your knee isn't supposed to bend this way.
Right.
And then he had the prayer hands emoji.
Yeah.
I'm watching the video of it.
Oh God, there it is.
Dude, it's horrible. And it's one of those, like, I'm pretty sure Keaton Mitchell was undrafted, right? And so he's a rookie this season coming in. He's had a really explosive last couple of weeks. And then you see this happen, and they've already confirmed his season's over. It breaks your heart because the Ravens are on this playoff push right now. You got to think Keaton Mitchell could have been getting paid in the near future, and this happens, and this is something that could ruin a career.
Well, you got to think Lamar Jackson, too, looking at this going, man, I'm healthy. Part of the reason I'm probably stayed healthy is because I haven't had to, take that entire workload. We had another guy who could do some business here. So do the Ravens come out, or are they as strong without him?
I look at the Ravens and I think to myself, they are fool's gold. I have zero for a 1 seed. It feels fraudulent. I feel like the Ravens are going to get found out eventually.
Next week, Ravens Niners.
Dude, yeah, like I just don't trust them at all. I think that Lamar Jackson is a really great regular season quarterback, but as soon as you get the Ravens behind, I mean, Lamar Jackson at no point in his career has ever been the type of quarterback when he's trailing by a score or two in the fourth quarter that I give any faith to coming back and winning.
The Ravens are not built to be a comeback team.
No.
They're built to get a lead and sustain it by just running the football, which is exactly what you saw last night. Now, the formula to beating Lamar Jackson in the past has been, well, you better have fast linebackers. And you look across playoff teams, well, I see the Chiefs, fast linebackers. I see the 49ers, fast linebackers. Those are two teams that could easily knock them out, I think.
By the way, I'm not completely sold that the Browns can't beat them in the opening round if the playoffs started this year.
Wow.
Fast linebackers.
This season. I mean, the Cleveland Browns, in fact, I want to go back and look and see what that game looked like earlier in the season between the Browns and the Ravens. Beat them bad. Ravens beat them 28-3. That was in Cleveland.
Who was the QB that game, though, for the Browns?
I believe that was Deshaun Watson. And
I think that was the DTR game.
Was that the
For
DTR
some reason,
game?
I think it was.
You might be right. I mean, yeah, Deshaun was hurt throughout the early portion of the season, and it was Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and he threw 3 picks in the game.
It was awful.
Yeah,
like the Ravens defense was in the backfield the entire time, and they just demolished it.
And that's okay. So that's perfect example of like when a team jumps out to an early lead and then they can keep the accelerator pressed down. But against better competition, I just don't trust Lamar Jackson, and it's because he can't play for.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. In fact, it's when I watched the Chiefs, who didn't play great, and there's still some mistakes out there. I mean, man, Devarius Toney having to figure out how to work around his issues, I think may become a problem. But
even Kelsey's dropping balls now.
Yeah,
it's a different Chiefs team
without a doubt. But is it a Chiefs team that you're going to bet against?
No.
I'm in the same boat. So to me, the Chiefs, even sitting at this, what were they, 3 seed? They're my pick.
So Doc Chow on 6score.com, he gives this injury to Keaton Mitchell a 10, and by video, significant worry for a multiple ligament injury in the left knee. So that's what we were talking about with the ACL, PCL, MCL. That's what Doc is fearing. The Ravens should confirm it after the MRI today. But over in the NFL, yesterday, Browns sneaking past the Bears 20-17. Did you guys see the Hail Mary at the end of this one? Because Darnell Mooney had it in his hands for the Bears.
Yes. I feel so bad for him.
Like, he is getting roasted alive by Chicago Bears Twitter this morning, and maybe he should be, but I can't help but feel bad for him too. The Los Angeles Rams keeping their playoff hopes alive, 28-20 win over the Commanders. Bills crushing the Cowboys yesterday. Bills still on the outside looking into the postseason with an 8-6 record. They beat the Cowboys 31-10. And on Sunday Night Football, Lamar Jackson improves his MVP resume. The Ravens beat the Jags 23-7. College hoops, Aztecs returning to action tomorrow night against St. Catharines at Viejas Arena. Pair of games for the Aztecs this week, or tomorrow night and Thursday night. Tip-off tomorrow is at 7. We'll be on the air with pregame coverage beginning at 6:30. We already gave away those tickets today, but coming up tomorrow, we will have another pair of tickets for Aztecs St. Catharines tomorrow night at Viejas Arena.
Man, the Jags in the red zone, was it 4 times without scoring?
Awful.
It was bad. I mean, it was bad.
Going for it on 4th down, fumbling. Did Trevor Lawrence have 2-3 fumbles last night?
Trevor Lawrence, yeah, he ball security was a big problem for the Jacksonville Jaguars last night. I forget how many
It was 2
turnovers.
or 3, and I know the Jags covered one of them up, but Trevor Lawrence very loose-handed with the football.
Yeah, well, listen, and I get it. I mean, that Ravens defense is real. That Ravens special teams unit is a very solid unit as well. I look, there's not a lot about the Ravens I don't like. And you know, just to clean it up a little bit, like there's not a lot about Lamar Jackson's game that I don't like. But when we're talking about the best teams in the NFL, and yeah, he fumbled twice, lost both of them, Trevor Lawrence, yesterday against this Baltimore Ravens defense. And he was sacked and hit a bunch as well. He was sacked once, but hit and under pressure the entire game. If you watch that game, there are several passes that he got out just by the skin of his teeth and fell incomplete. You know, it's just one of those things where one part of his game that's missing is one of the most crucial and important parts of your game, especially when you advance to the postseason. It's being able to play with a disparity, being able to play from behind, especially in the second half of games.
Where the Chiefs went back-to-back games in the postseason where they were down double digits in the first half and came back and won all of them.
Yeah, against the Houston Texans and against the Titans in the wild card and divisional round.
I just don't think the Ravens are built to do anything close to that.
No,
because they can't score in bunches. The way they have to play is very methodical, down the field, time of possession. And I just don't know that in the postseason, if they get down by any points, 7 points, 3 points, that the Ravens can come back.
Do you guys remember Steelers running back Rashard Mendenhall?
I do.
Okay, so random, but he put out a tweet. Listen to this tweet, and then I would love to hear your reaction. I'm sick of average white guys commenting on football. Y'all not even good at football. Can we please replace the Pro Bowl with an all black versus all white bowl so these cats can stop trying to teach me who's good at football? I'm better than your goat.
Now, this is a tricky situation to get into here, and I'm going to try to walk the line.
Okay.
But do you remember a couple years ago, Madden NFL Football, the video game, was line in line with Mendenhall here because they made Christian McCaffrey black?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you think that was on purpose?
I
No.
don't. No. Look,
I think somebody screwed up.
Here's my problem with this statement. It really I think it's just maybe he was trying to be funny. I hope that was the case. In which case, I kind of get the joke, and it is kind of funny.
And I'm an average white guy who talks about football for a living, and I have no business doing it.
Which also, I'm an average white guy that talks about football for a living who would laugh my ass off at this Pro Bowl idea. It would be funny.
I hope he's saying it in jest. If he isn't, you're part of the problem, buddy. I have no idea why race needs to be injected into every single conversation. I mean, especially sports. Guess what? I grew up in a neighborhood that was fairly well integrated, but I knew a lot of guys who didn't. And guess what football gave to them, or sports in general? An opportunity to fellowship and make friends with people of different color and races and religions and all that stuff.
Right.
Like, it is, to me, the best melting pot this country has to offer as a sports field. And if this is a joke, then it's a funny one. And I think it's actually kind of hysterical. If he's being serious, though, grow the hell up. I mean, he played in these locker rooms. He's got tons of white friends. He's got tons of guys who I'm sure he grew up with, who he would consider average football players, who he respects their or average athletes, who he respects their opinion regardless of their color. It's just such a stupid place to inject race.
Well, that's all. I mean, we look at these different teams, these players, these athletes, and just look at them as athletes.
And by the way,
it doesn't matter the color of their skin.
When this happens, immediately this is what happens. Somebody immediately put a tweet underneath this tweet and wrote Rashard Mendenhall career 72 games, 3.9 yards per carry. Peyton Hillis career 81 games, 4.2 yards per carry. Immediately there's going to be people who are jumping all over an opportunity. So that happened.
Listen, and if he was just trying to get clicks or get people to get his name out there, mission accomplished.
Yeah. Oh, and this is actually really, really funny. The person who wrote this, his name's Kyle on Twitter. He also wrote "Goat R.I.P." And then somebody else responded, "Peyton Hillis isn't dead." Jesus Christ!
Didn't Peyton Hillis just like save a bunch of people from drowning?
His kids.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that was a crazy story.
Peyton
Wow.
Hillis, who had 1 year in the NFL where he was the best running back in the world.
It was insane.
And then he kind of fell off the map, and no one ever heard from him again until he like rescued his children from drowning.
His kids were
Right.
drowning in the ocean. He ran in and saved them and almost died doing it. I mean, I would hope anybody would do that for the kids, but dude's like a legit hero. Anyways, I just want, it literally came across my timeline in real time.
If you're ever bored, by the way,
Yeah.
go watch Peyton Hillis highlights from that one season where he was dominant. He was trucking dudes down the block.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah. It's, dude.
And then he disappeared.
And then, it was just that 1 year with the Browns.
He got on the cover of Madden, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
The next season, he was on the cover of Madden Football. Dude, unbelievable. I love the NFL for that reason. I mean, any given year. All right, guys.
Like David Johnson's years with the Cardinals. He had like 2 years where nobody could touch him and then disappeared.
Oh, yeah. Tight end.
No, David Johnson was a running back. He was
That's right.
like the best running back in football for
and then
2
he
years.
got traded to the Texans.
Disappeared.
Fell off the face of the planet. Yeah, it's so strange how it happens. But again, actually, that serves the point that we were discussing in the preseason about all these running backs crying for more money.
Austin Eckler disappeared this year.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley injured, started the year injured.
Right.
Christian McCaffrey, I can't say a single bad thing about him. I mean, give that guy all the money in the world. He's
getting it.
unbelievable. Yeah, but
All the money Brock Purdy should be making, Christian McCaffrey's making.
Yeah, C-Max got it. But yeah, a lot of the running backs who were on that call, you remember in the preseason, they were like, we are undervalued. Like
It was Najee Harris,
Jonathan Taylor,
Austin Eckler.
all these guys hurt.
Underwhelming seasons from all of them.
I remember hearing from Zeke Elliott. I'm like, Zeke, what the hell are you doing here?
Derrick Henry was the one who didn't. He kind of stayed out of all of this because he already got paid. He doesn't care. But Derrick Henry not having a great year, it's because he's Derrick Henry and he's old. And he's been hit a million times.
Yeah. He'll be in the Hall of Fame 1 year or soon. But yeah, he's not done yet.
And I doubt that Brock Purdy's complaining too much that he's not getting the money because of C-Mac, because he's there because of C-Mac.
That's also true.
Yeah.
He I mean, in fact, he could give Christian McCaffrey like a donation every week and he'd probably do himself a lot of good by doing so.
Brock Purdy at the podium yesterday said Christian McCaffrey deserves to be this league's MVP this year.
What are you going to say? You're going to say myself?
No, obviously not. Yeah. He's going to be like, you know what? I hate that everybody's talking about Christian McCaffrey. You know who needs to win it? Hang on.
Yeah.
2 thumbs. This guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Either that or Lamar Jackson. You choose.
And speaking of race, did you see when somebody compared Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey to Rob and Big? You remember?
They did it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they walked up to the podium yesterday.
Together?
Trent Williams was like, I got to bring my boy out here. And Christian McCaffrey walked out and said, just like Robin Big.
Oh, dude, it's hysterical. Find that picture online. It'll tickle you. They look exactly like Rob Dyrdek and Big. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Big.
Yeah,
God, I love that show.
He was amazing. That lazy eye, he's a giant man. Anyways, want to talk to you guys about my dentist, Dr. Jordan Colby over at Ocean View Dental. You've heard me talk about this already today. I can't express enough how much he's changed my life. So if you've heard me talk about this, I had major dental work that needed to be done. 3 implants needed to be put in. I needed another tooth extracted. It was scary times because I thought I was going to miss a whole bunch of work. I thought that this was going to be a 1.5 year long process. That's what I was told by my former dentist. I was going to have to visit 4 different offices. It was going to be just a terrible experience. Well, I heard from LaDonna Harvey over at Kogo News that she goes and sees Dr. Jordan Colby, and she was like, no, seriously, you should give him a call. She was like, he's a great guy, but beyond that, he does all this work out of his office, state-of-the-art technology. The list went on. So I'm like, yeah, I'll set up a consultation with him. It was the best decision of my life. I can't tell you how much this has changed things for me. I was having a hard time chewing food. But after getting these 3 implants put in and doing it within 3 months. Now, bring it back to what I said. This was supposed to take 1.5 years. He did it in 3 months. I didn't miss a single day of work. I didn't experience any pain, any swelling. I returned to work the very next day. These guys were shocked. They were like, "Wait, what did you?" I mean, it was incredible.
We wanted high Rich and we got focused Rich. It was a bummer.
Yeah, it really.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it went so well.
Your dentist is too good at his job.
Exactly correct. We need to have a talk.
Yeah, the muscle shows up with me next time. Sorry, Dr. Jordan Colby. But yeah, he explained the procedure. I was 100% confident in the plan. And like I said, everything happens out of his office. He takes care of it all. oceanviewdental.net. If you want to book a consultation or if you are ready for your next teeth cleaning, he's become my family's dentist and I want you to do the same. He's got a great office in Fallbrook, one in Oceanside. Again, advanced dental technology, all the toys, the digital x-rays, 3D, CT imaging, dental lasers, Invisalign veneers, and so much more. That's oceanviewdental.net. Hey, it's Rich here for your San Diego County Toyota dealers. You've heard me talk about it before. I got this 4Runner in the driveway at the house. Legitimately, the only things that I've had to do to this car is put oil in it and gas, and that's it. That's exactly what I was searching for after my last car really failed me. I was looking for a reliable car or SUV or truck, and I didn't know where to turn. So I started asking people, and everybody pointed me to Toyota. I had never owned a Toyota. My family had never owned a Toyota. This would be the first time, right? So we rented one when we were on an East Coast trip, and we fell in love with the 4Runner. And then I went in for a test drive at San Diego County Toyota dealers. And I already kind of knew that this is what I was interested in. But what was great was the sales experience wasn't pushy. It was awesome. It was actually a really fun day. I went out there, I met with really informative staff, and then they just left me alone. They said, hey, you got the information you need. Why don't you take a walk around the lot? If you want to test drive anything, let us know. So I walked back into the office and said, yeah, I'd like to take out the 4Runner and give that a whirl. And I ended up rolling off the lot 30 minutes later with all the financing taken care of right there at your San Diego County Toyota dealer. And that's the sort of experience that I've heard from multiple people about them. So if you're looking for a great deal on a new Toyota, make sure you visit toyota.com. There you can check out all the latest offers, compare models, search inventory. Finding the Toyota that is just right for you starts at toyota.com. And Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup supports a greener planet. So they got a wide range of electrified vehicles, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, fully electric vehicles. It makes it easy to find the one that suits you in your lifestyle while making a positive impact. So if you or family members interested in a Toyota, now's a great time. New stock arriving daily, plus great holiday deals. Get to your San Diego County Toyota dealers today.
This update is presented by Macy's Backstage. Beginning in the NFL yesterday, Browns sneak past the Bears 2017. Chiefs handle business against the Patriots 27-17. Niners clinch the NFC West with a 45-29 win over the Cardinals. Rams keep their playoff hopes alive with a 28-20 win over the Commanders. Bills crush the Cowboys 31-10. And on Sunday Night Football, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens beat the Jags 23-7. College hoops. Aztecs returning to action tomorrow night against St. Catharines at Viejas Arena. Tip-off 7 o'clock. We will be on the air with pregame coverage beginning at 6:30. What will you find at Macy's Backstage? How about the perfect holiday gifts, just $25 and under, like matching family PJs, fragrance sets, toys, and more. Find the latest trends, new arrivals, and great prices at a Macy's Backstage store near you.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. So far today, we've given away a pair of tickets, and I failed to actually ask Fletch, what tickets did we give away?
Oh, yeah.
Our boy Matt was the winner. Congrats, Matt.
Nice, Matt.
And he wanted to go see the Aztecs tomorrow night.
Okay.
Right
All right.
Okay. So we still have 44th annual DirecTV Holiday Bowl tickets up for grabs this hour. So if you're interested in checking out the game that kicks off next Wednesday, 5 p.m. kick over at Petco Park between USC and Louisville, just be listening for those tickets, also followed by KGB Sky Show. So you win those tickets, you get to go to the game. You get to also witness KGB Sky Show. Pretty good deal.
And you might run into Travis Dale.
Oh, yeah. I'll you know where I'll be? The press box.
Sweet.
Yeah, I know. Look at
Travis
that.
Dale.
Look at that.
Moving
Yeah.
on up.
Moving on up.
New to East Side.
Ooh, do they have the press box nachos?
I don't
for
know.
Holiday Bowl?
This is honestly exactly where my head went.
Okay, so I will admit, last year's Holiday Bowl, the press box food, I remember being actually way more impressed than. I don't want to oversell it.
Whoa,
You know that, like, I don't want to set expectations too high.
But it was better than what the Padres give?
Like by light years.
Okay, well, you're
Well, I
talking to
love the Holiday
somebody
Bowl.
who loves the Padres press box food.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you,
Because it's nachos, self-serve nachos.
you will double love what happened. I don't even want to go.
Lemonhead, nachos, my dad's boat.
Boat
You
to
won't
those.
go down?
Yeah.
It's it does float.
Everybody who's seen Step Brothers loved that.
Yep.
We stepped off of the air on Friday, and then legitimately 2 minutes later, the Chargers announced the firing of Brandon Staley.
Yeah, it was 9:02.
It was
Because,
9:02.
by the way, Colin Cowherd was setting up his opening take about why the Chargers should fire Brandon Staley, and somebody got in his ear and said the Chargers just fired Brandon
Cool.
Staley.
Cool, because I think about 8:30, we were like, "There's no way they fire him, right? They never do that."
Yeah. And
30 minutes later,
then they did.
that's right.
So Brandon Staley out after the embarrassing 63-21 loss on Thursday Night Football primetime game, embarrassed by the Raiders, who scored the most points in franchise history. The Chargers let up the most points in franchise history. Dean Spanos does something that he hasn't done since the 80s when they fired Gilbride in the middle of the season. I believe that was an October firing, so they made it longer with Brandon Staley, but he and Tom Telesco, the general manager, ousted. And so we move on, and the question remains who's next, but it sort of almost feels like their fate is sealed. Like, we know who's next. It's going to be some middle tier coordinator. It's not going to be a Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions, who's been the offensive coordinator for 2 seasons and has really rejuvenated Jared Goff. It's not going to be a Bobby Slowick, who slowly is gaining some traction as a potential head coach hiring, who's offensive coordinator with the Houston Texans, or any of these postseason teams that provide somebody. It's not going to be Belichick. It ain't going to be Jim Harbaugh. They're not going to make a splash. They're going to go cheap. And then they're going to get cheap results, because that's what's happened over the past 15 or 20 years.
Well, it's interesting to see who they didn't fire, right? They didn't fire Kellen Moore, who a lot of people think should be getting a shot at a head coaching job soon. Now, it's not like the offense for the Chargers has been particularly great this year, but do you think that maybe Brandon Staley had a little bit to do with that because of his perception that they should be going on 4th down every single time? Well, it failed a lot for the Chargers. So does Kellen Moore get a shot at this job?
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
He'll definitely get an interview.
And
Right.
who's the guy that is the interim GIF? What's his name? I already lost
Smith.
it. GIF Smith.
Yeah, he's their outside linebacker coach.
It sounds like you made that up, like it's Jan Brady dating Jack Glass. It's our new coach is GIF Smith.
Coaches kickers.
You know what the name that popped into my head while you were talking about it, Rich, talking about the underwhelming hire, is Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's going to be cheaper than at least he was when he got the Houston Texans job. Was that the one he had?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to be cheaper now because that was a disappointment, obviously, in Houston. He goes back to the college route, works his way up. The Patriots, obviously, very underwhelming offensive year with him as the OC. Does he get another shot at being a head coach?
Boy, what will be the prevailing narrative is, so you couldn't buy Belichick, because if he's available this offseason, obviously a lot of his coordinators will be available too, because you'll see a complete regime change in New England. You couldn't spend on Belichick, but you got the next best thing. Like, that is going to now.
That's the Charger way.
And look, I am a Billy O'Brien fan. I know there's a lot of people who probably misremember things. He's a really talented offensive coordinator, and he's a really talented head coach.
I mean, he had the Texans in the playoffs multiple years with Deshaun Watson, playing some of the best football Deshaun Watson's ever played. Now that we know how that story ended, and that's as much of the reason Bill O'Brien's gone as anything else.
Yeah, and to be frank, I mean, he's helping make Bailey Zappi look serviceable in this league.
But let's be serious. If Deshaun Watson never had the scandal, which everyone knows what we're talking about,
Yep.
Bill O'Brien and Deshaun Watson are mostly still with the Houston Texans.
Oh, yeah. Now, as a general manager, however, I think he was failing the Houston Texans. I question some of the decision-making he made with that roster, and I think that was the beginning of the end for the Texans. Certainly, J.J. Watt was upset with how his career was handled there. There were a multitude of other trades that went down. We were just talking about it earlier in the show. He traded for David Johnson, the worst years of David Johnson's career, traded away DeAndre Hopkins, and really feathered the bed for what do you call it? Deshaun Watson exit before the scandal even began. So yeah, there was discord going on there from a personnel management standpoint, but he's a pretty good coach, pretty good coordinator.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I don't see the Chargers doing anything that's going to make some huge impact. I'm sure they'll screw this up.
Now, Travis Dale brought up something that was that came to his attention online. So on X.com, he found somebody was trolling the Chargers and showed all their logos throughout the year. In 2020 through current day, it was a shield with, instead of like the Chargers bolt horse on it, it had a donkey emblazoned in the the light baby blue and the gold.
Yeah.
And
the donkey's looking back. You're looking at the ass end of the donkey.
he goes, dude, he was like, if San Diego's like football club was named the San Diego Donkeys
or the Burros,
he was like, I would buy this gear. I actually like this logo.
I would be so in. And then you talked about maybe some additions you could do to the team, maybe a logo. How about this? This ass is class.
God. The finest city, the finest ass.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you imagine?
It's amazing that TD hasn't been scooped up by some marketing firm and taken off this show and offered millions of dollars.
Can you imagine the San Diego Burros?
You're out there.
Okay, the San Diego Burros at halftime, they have a dance team that are scantily clad and they're just twerking it.
Shaking them.
Dude,
and we already do the food in the stadium could be exclusively provided by the Blind Burro. Talking machetes.
The San Diego Burros,
we're genius.
Doing
with the
and TD at the San Diego Zoo. There's a little penguin named Pistol Pete.
There is.
What kind of sound does Pistol Pete make?
Oh my gosh! The dance team is I guess they would be the ass dancers. I mean, that's perfect, dude. Wow, like San Diego FC screwed up in a major way.
You spell out dancers. You got to somehow work in ass, like DASS. Dancers.
I don't know how they would do it.
I don't know either.
Holy cow! Wow. All right. So I'll take a cold shower. We got Monday Night Football to preview. We also have Bottom of the Barrel coming up.
There's a lot to get to in Bottom of the Barrel.
Bear tickets to give away.
There is so much to get to. We have bear tickets to give away.
In fact, listen for the next 3 minutes. You might get those pairs of tickets.
Oh, I like that. I like it very much so.
Yeah.
I like that mucho. Okay.
You a San Diego Burro fan?
Oh, big time. Yeah. Big time. You see their dance team? If you're struggling with any sort of foot pain, ankle pain, knee pain, hip pain, back pain, I need you to go to a good feet store. Okay. So I don't know, maybe you're a dancer. You spend a lot of time on your feet. I'm sure you're suffering with some lower body joint pain from all the dancing you do, right?
At halftime?
Yeah, at halftime.
At the Burrow games?
I mean, it could be at the Burrow games. Look, the point is, if you're like me and you woke up in the morning, or you have been waking up in the morning and you've been feeling pain of any sort in your knees, in your back, you wouldn't think, oh, my feet are the problem. But I promise you it could be a bigger part of the problem than you imagine. So I went to the Good Feet store for the first time, did the whole try before I buy experience, test walk, free fitting, walked out of there with these Good Feet store arch supports. And it was a life changer, a game changer. Less back pain than I've ever had since I finished my playing career in the NFL. Less knee pain. The knee pain has disappeared. That's been incredible. I had hip pain coming on. I thought I was going to need surgery. I was going to get an MRI, and it completely stalled that whole process because the hip pain has disappeared.
They don't lie.
They don't lie. They don't lie. Go to goodfeet.com, book your appointment today. Go to one of their 200 plus locations around the U.S. and overseas. And coming up next, we'll get to Monday Night Football on the Bottom of the Barrel on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Also, we got some tickets to give away. Stay tuned.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's TD. I want to talk to you about sdfatloss.com. We are 13 days away from 2024, which means your New Year's resolutions are getting locked in, right? You're going, okay, I'm going to start this diet come the first of the year. We always have I want to lose a few pounds, right? Well, what you don't want to do is start a diet and then get into the yo-yo diet plan where you lose some weight and then you gain it right back. And you'll get into those yo-yo diet plans if you start doing those prescription medication diets, the prescription injection medication diets, which are just appetite suppressants. So as soon as you stop taking those, well, you're going to start eating again. You're going to gain the weight back.
Dude, and yo-yos, I loved them when I was a kid.
Right.
I had a Dunkin' Imperial for a long time.
Nice.
A butterfly for a little bit.
Yeah, the butterfly.
Butterfly's really solid.
Yep.
They have that groove for the finger. Not as good with weight loss, though.
No. Because I mean, basically, if you're going to use the yo-yo for weight loss, just take the string off, tie it around your finger, remind you, hey, don't eat, fatty. That's I think as far as you go with the yo-yo. Is what I'm saying. But if you're
what is happening?
We don't want a yo-yo diet. That's what's happening. Okay, we don't want a yo-yo diet. But if you are looking to start a diet plan that works, a plan that you're going to lose weight quickly, then you want to go to sdfatloss.com. There's honestly no other place that does it better. sdfatloss.com. 8 weeks. I lost 31 pounds. Rich over 35. Ben Fletcher, nearly 200 pounds, I think. I can't confirm.
44.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely an insane amount of number. In a couple months, it will just melt off of you. SDFatLoss.com is offering $200 off right now with their holiday special through December 31st. So lock in the savings right now. You can start the program right now if you want to, or you can save it for your New Year's resolution coming up here in the new year. SDFatLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation today, and we got to do it. I know you've been listening. Let's do it right now. Let's give away some tickets to the Holiday Bowl.
844-570-1360. Maybe you could celebrate your brand new diet at the Holiday Bowl. Watching USC Louisville take on each other at the Holiday Bowl. That's going to be next Wednesday. Kickoff at 5 p.m. Caller number 5 is going to win those tickets. 844-570-1360 to the 44th annual DirecTV Holiday Bowl. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you, wrapping up the day here on a Monday morning. I shouldn't say the day. The day's just getting started.
That's right.
If you woke up with us this morning on the free iHeartRadio app, we definitely appreciate it. If you don't have it yet, download it today. The free iHeartRadio app. You can listen to all your Christmas music, listen to this show, a lot of the local programming that we're going to provide leading you up to the holiday season. And also don't want to miss any of the games. We're going to be airing NFL and obviously Aztecs throughout the holiday season as well.
And the Holiday Bowl.
Oh, and the Holiday Bowl? Yeah, dude.
You'll hear it right here on San Diego Sports 7.
Who just won those tickets?
Joey V.
Congrats to Joey V going to the Holiday Bowl. We're going to be giving away those tickets all week long, so keep it right here.
And yeah, Rich and John will be doing play-by-play for that game.
Loving it. Can't wait. Bottom of the barrel. Really quick before we get to bottom of the barrel, let's just give our Monday night predictions. I mean, this isn't official. These aren't anything like barrel picks, but what's your lean, Philadelphia or Seahawks tonight?
Philadelphia all day long.
Eagles were my prediction for barrel picks, so I'm sticking with them. Look, they've had 2 really disappointing games in a row, and Colin Cowherd always says it, and I agree with it. When good teams get embarrassed back-to-back weeks, it's not going to happen a third time.
Yeah, so Philadelphia favored on the road in Seattle, 3.5 points. The line opened at 4 points. And also the total came down a tick. So it was 47.5 when it opened. It's down to 45.5.
Do we have weather? Oh no, that's because Jalen Hurts and what's his name, Geno Smith, probably aren't playing.
Yeah. I think this could be, though, still with all the weapons these backups have, and as well as backups have been playing, I still think that this could be a sneaky high scoring game. So I'm going to take the over on the total, to be perfectly frank. I think this could end up being a pretty decent game offensively. Also, I'm not impressed with Philadelphia's defense at all. This season. They've really let up a lot of yards.
So Jalen Hurts officially questionable for tonight's game. We have no word yet on whether or not he's going to play. As of yesterday, his illness was worsening. Was the tweet from Adam Schefter. So we'll see. It might be Marcus Mariota tonight.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So
more backups on prime time. That's just what this NFL season needed.
Don't worry. It was flexed.
Fantastic. All right. So an important NFC battle, no question. I think the Eagles win and cover. I think I'm with Fletch on this one. I think this is going to be like a touchdown victory for the Eagles on the road tonight. All right. Bottom of the barrel. What's your favorite story here?
I don't know. The Senate, I didn't put that in there for fear we wouldn't be able to navigate through it.
We already did.
We did.
How about this?
Yeah.
Pornhub revealed the most popular category in 2023. You want to know what it is?
Yes.
I already looked. I'm part of that search history.
Mature.
Yeah. GILF. GILF.
So would that be like granny porn?
That would be. Yep.
You're damn right.
Like
America, you're disgusting.
Act like you don't
stop
know.
It, dude, grandmas need love, and there's some hot grandmas
America,
out there.
you're disgusting.
This is 2020, almost 4. The grandmas are hot these days.
Tell you what, you want to bake me cookies?
What?
Like, give me some cookies.
Any other story?
Frito-Lay is making a nacho cheese booze.
Bar Cart Friday. Yeah. Who do we thank, Fletch?
We thank the three of us. We also thank all our texters, our roadies, our dogs, our hangers, our bangers. We love you. We thank the Holiday Bowl for giving us some tickets to shell out. We thank the Aztecs for giving us some tickets to shell out. We'll see you tomorrow with tickets for both of those games coming up tomorrow.
We thank ourselves.
Yeah, we thank ourselves. Joey, Matt, thank you as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Big wins for them. We'll have more tickets tomorrow. The Herd is next.